Hello. I was on mute. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Were you? Hello, how are you? You're watching cat videos. I actually do that sometimes myself, and I like showing my cat videos. That's pretty funny. Did I tell you that I found 3 kittens? Just random, throwing that out there. Late night talk. Nobody judge me. This is gonna be a random discussion of quite a few things. I didn't even put up one of the topics that I wanted to bring up in the title, so I will be bringing up something that's not even in the title. So just going all over the place today. Hey, Georgie Argy, what's up? How are you? How was your guys' weekend? Mine went by really fast, but it was good. It was pretty good. Um, Uneventful, which is good. A lot of fast food. I'm not feeling the healthiest. Diet starts Monday. So, hey, Carly Armstrong, how are you? Okie dokie. So I had put in the title of this video that I wanted it to be. How are you? Ooh, sorry. I had wanted it to be Samuel Olson, Cash Gernon, and then Aiden Leos. I hope I spelled it right. I think I may have spelled it wrong. But I don't know if anybody had heard about this case. It's been on the news for a few days, and I had been following it, and I wanted to bring it up because, I over here think I'm like this investigator, and I think I see things that other people don't. And there's this one case from Los Angeles that I thought I could see right through. And so let me tell you a little bit about the case. It was I believe, a 4-year-old little boy or a 6-year-old little boy who no, who was he for? He was shot in the back through the rear of his mom's car. They were in a road rage, like incident or whatever. The mom had cut somebody off, and then she said she flipped them off. And when they went to cut her off, they shot out of the passenger car passenger door, and they had pierced the car. And then the little boy was hit, and he passed away before ever even getting to the hospital. So I had heard about that, and I was like, I had questions. It looked so suspicious to me. The mom looked completely suspicious to me. Hey, Teresa. And this is just me being guilty. I feel guilty, and I even said it, like, not to anybody that we know. I said it like in comment sections, like, I will apologize if I was wrong. But for some reason, I don't know why, I thought it was like a cover up. I thought the mom had maybe done something to her son and then was using that as a story, because there have been a lot of shootings on the interstate in California. So I thought she might be like doing something bad. I don't know. I feel really bad now. But the suspects were caught. So I was actually going to read out a news article that Dawn had found for me, Dawn Keller. And she sent it to me because she knew I had told her that I was following the case and that I thought that it was like an inside job or something to that effect. And I was completely wrong. And I do feel bad, especially because, obviously his family's suffering. And I believe the mom was a single mom. And I mean, not that it's going to change anything, but there was an obscene amount of money raised in this GoFundMe. I think something like $500,000. And that's why there's probably been a break in the case, because they kept upping the tip line money because they knew. Nicole Morgan's in the house. Hey, Nicole, thank you. Let's see what you said, Dorothy Marie. I know the story. It's an Asian family, and it was on the highway, a major highway, and somebody shot into the car and killed a child in the backseat. Very sad. And it is notorious for police chases and breaking into programming. Yes, they caught them. So I already got distracted. I had already stopped pulling it up. All right. So, arrest have been made in the connection of 6-year-old Aiden Leos, who was struck by gunfire on the 55 freeway, according to California Highway Patrol. CHP confirmed the arrest of 2 suspects believed to be responsible for the shooting death of Aiden. Marcus Anthony Aries, 24, and Winnie Lee, 23, were arrested on Sunday at their home in Costa Mesa and are expected to be charged with murder. Crazy, right? On behalf of Border Division Chief Omar Watson and the Santa Ana area, we are deeply grateful for the professionalism and tireless commitment from our investigators who have worked on this case from day one to find those responsible for Aiden's death, said the CHP. Commissioner Adam Ray While these arrests will not ease the pain of a mother's loss, my hope is for Leo's family to have some peace of mind. To rest assured, the CHP will work with the Orange County District Attorney to bring justice for Aiden. The CHP Border Division Chief Watson also thanked the community for its indescribable outpouring of concern and hundreds of tips that helped investigators find the killers. The steadily growing reward in the shooting of Aiden Leos, which was struck by gunfire from another car May 21st on the 55 freeway in Orange, started with an offer of $50,000 and increased in the week following the shooting. This money includes funds from the family's businesses and Orange County officials. Aiden was riding with his mother when he was struck by a bullet in his abdomen. He was on his way to kindergarten. The shooting stemmed from a road rage confrontation, investigators say. The California Highway Patrol released a photo of a white Volkswagen Golf sports wagon, possibly a 2018 or 2019 model, sought in connection with the shooting. And then it says there was a correction made on June 7th. The story previously identified those arrested as errors. Oh, okay. Well, they had fixed it. So I read the updated one. But yeah, they were caught. I am so shocked. I really thought I was so wrong. I was really wrong. I know, Teresa. I think I might have sent it to you. I just feel so bad. The little boy had told his mom, "Mom, my tummy hurts," and she pulled over and she was holding him, and other people stopped, and I guess police got there right away, and he passed away on the scene. And the people who stopped to help her had a Tesla. So they were saying, like, if anybody has pictures, if anybody has identifying like cameras or whatever for the suspect, I was thinking if the person who stopped to help her was a Tesla, there should be a video out there. So since they weren't saying there was a video or they were looking for some, I was assuming, well, the Tesla didn't catch anything. But maybe the Tesla did, because they do have a picture of a suspect car. I did send it to you, Crazy. So yes, I feel really, really bad. And that's why you take everything to court, and everyone is supposed to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. And that's the craziness that's been going on in these cases, is that, you know, we become vigilantes of some sort and we start reading into them and we think we can learn everything. But as we all know, context can be taken out of things can be taken out of context. But it's really freaking crazy. I sent it to you in Sky. Yes, I did. And I mean, unfortunately, he did pass away, and they found out, they caught the two killers. It was a male and a female, and they've been arrested for murder. It was a road rage incident, and they actually shot through the car and shot the little boy, and he died. And I was, wow. I really can't believe people would do that. Again, just another group of people just running around this world calling themselves adults, just doing ridiculous things. So I was actually going to play this video. This is from our girl Crazy. And this is the update in the Aiden Fucci case. And while that plays, I'm going to be looking up something that I wanted to show you guys as well. So let me know how this goes. What I have to show you guys is actually really freaking cool. So you're really going to want to wait for the next one. It's from Cash Gernon. So this is Aiden Fucci and Tristan Bailey coming up next. I'll shut up now.
Crystal Smith, the mother of Aiden Fucci, is in the St. Johns County Jail facing evidence tampering charges. She turned herself in just before noon on Saturday. According to the arrest warrant, Smith washed the jeans Fucci was wearing when deputies say he killed 13-year-old Tristan Bailey. The warrant says Crystal Smith was present on May 9th while her 14-year-old son was being interviewed by investigators about Bailey's death. After her son left with deputies, surveillance cameras inside the house captured Smith going into Fucci's room, grabbing a pair of jeans, then scrubbing the jeans in a bathroom sink. Investigators say she returned the jeans to Fucci's room a couple of hours later. The jeans were found while investigators searched Fucci's home. According to the warrant, they tested positive for blood. The drain in the sink where investigators say Crystal Smith washed the jeans also tested positive for presence of blood. In a statement, Sheriff Rob Hardwick said, Crystal Smith will be held responsible for her role in this case and justice will be served for Tristan Bailey and her family. Smith is being held on a $25,000 bond.
Can you guys believe that? I mean, I love my kids, but what? One thing I just kept saying to everybody, I couldn't stop saying it over and over again, is can you imagine? Imagine, hey Junie, can you imagine hand washing your son's jeans in your sink and watching blood like come out of them? And then having, oh my gosh, that's how awful. And I guess she had mouthed, oh yeah, she did make bail. So, crazy. Did I hashtag that short? I don't know. Did you? But this was Crazy Crime Chicks short from it. But did you hashtag it? I don't know. I actually made a short of this. I asked her permission to make a short of it, and I put it on TikTok, and it's going viral. it's at um, it's at 23,000, almost 24,000 views. So good job, Crazy. Thank you for letting me use it. Let's see. Junie heard that she made bail. That's what I thought I had read. So Crazy wants me to read out the arrest affidavit, or the statement regarding the arrest. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really fast for my girl because she asked me to. And then after this, I have to show you guys something. No, I'm not. I have to show you guys something that that we saw right now on Zav's panel. Zav had people in comments and messages like sending her something, and she looked it up, and it's freaking true. I don't even want to be that kind of person. Like, you will not believe it, but just wait. But yes, you will not believe it. Just wait. I am not TikTok famous. I only have 1,000 followers, but because it's on an algorithm, certain things become like viral, but it doesn't mean you're famous. It's just luck of the draw. Okay. So this is, I'm going to go ahead and do this just so we can see
Aiden's camera is
her
inside
face.
the house.
See your face. Okay. Let me read this real quick. Oh, whatever, Demon Child. It says, Sheriff's Office, Robert A. Hardwick, and then this would be in Augustine, Florida. St. John County, Florida, June 5th, 2021. This afternoon, Crystal Smith, the murder, that's what I have on my mind. This afternoon, Crystal Smith, the mother of Aiden Fucci, surrendered herself to custody of the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. She was subsequently booked into the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office Detention Center for tampering with evidence and $25,000 bail, and has a $25,000 bail. Sheriff Hardwick had this to say: I remain incredibly proud of the men and women of the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office for their continued thoroughness in this investigation. I believe this is what Crazy read. Sorry. Duh. I get carried away sometimes. Okay, so this is the actual warrant for arrest, and it says it's going to go ahead and tell us about the disappearance firsthand. So I'm not going to read it all just so we don't get too off base, but on Sunday, May 9, 2021, at approximately 1,000 hours, TB, a 13-year-old juvenile, was reported missing. The ensuing investigation led deputies to believe she may have been in contact with AF on the evening of May 8, 2021. Contact was made with AF at his residence, and his mother, the above-named defendant, was present. AF volunteered to ride with deputies to show them where he had last seen TB. As AF spoke with deputies, his story began to change and subsequently invoked his constitutional rights. TB was located deceased and had an apparent homicide, and AF was determined to be the primary suspect. During the course of the investigation, a witness identified that AF was wearing jeans on May 8, 2021 at about 8 p.m. before the murder of TB. Based on the investigation, AF did not go home or change his jeans prior to the early morning hours of May 9, 2021, when TB was murdered by AF. Moreover, video surveillance during the early morning hours on May 9, 2021 indicate AF was wearing jeans. So Aiden Fucci was wearing jeans. These jeans were his. During the course of the homicide investigation, video surveillance was obtained from the defendant's residence. Video surveillance confirmed deputies speaking with AF, with the defendant present. After AF left voluntarily with deputies, the defendant can be observed on her video surveillance going to AF's bedroom at approximately 12:55 hours, retrieving what appeared to be a pair of blue jeans, taking the jeans to the adjacent bathroom, and appeared to be scrubbing the jeans in the bathroom sink. The defendant then was observed in the video taking the jeans to her master bedroom for a period of time. A witness can be observed from the video surveillance inside the residence at approximately 13:05 hours and appeared to have a discussion with the defendant. The defendant retrieved the jeans from the master bedroom, and both the witness and the defendant can be observed inspecting the jeans several times before the defendant returned his blue jeans back into the bedroom of AF at approximately 13:28. During the course of this homicide investigation, AF was transported to the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office and placed with the biological father and biological mother. The defendant in an audio-video recorded interview room. While in the interview room, Aiden's parents asked him about anything that would be on his clothes from the previous night. Aiden advised he was wearing blue jeans. The defendant asked Aiden if he was sure there was nothing on them. Aiden responded, "I think so. Why?" The above-named defendant could be observed giving him a questioning look and whispering, "Blood?" The witness from the residence was identified and contacted on May 12, 2021 at her residence. Detectives conducted a surreptitious audio recording interview in which the witness advised the defendant located a pair of damp jeans in Adrian's bedroom hamper. The defendant asked the witness if she saw anything on the jeans, and she stated she washed the jeans. He put them in his hamper? I must have missed that. The witness stated the defendant that she didn't know if there was blood on the jeans or not. The witness advised she could not see anything and that it appeared to be blood on the jeans, but asked the defendant why she washed the jeans, and she stated the defendant could get in trouble for washing the jeans. That made no sense. The blue jeans in question were located during a search warrant on the above-named defendant's residence located in Aiden's bedroom. The blue jeans tested positive for the presence of blood. Additionally, the drain of the bathroom sink in which the above-named defendant was observed scrubbing the blue jeans tested positive for the presence of blood. Jeez. Can you imagine being that mom? No. I would be livid. But Crazy and I were talking, and my husband said he would do it, that he would immediately cover up for my kids. And I think I said, I don't think I would. And if I did, I would cry and just give it up right away. I don't know. I don't think I would. And Crazy said that her boyfriend would probably do the same. And she said the same thing, smack my head. Not saying that we shouldn't protect our kids at all costs, but saying there should be a point in which you draw the line. It's definitely drawing the line at right and wrong. Just like you're trying to teach your kids right and wrong from the beginning, that's definitely something that you should use as reference to show them. Hey, think for yourself. We don't know that she knew the blood was from a murder, though, do we? She did, though. She was in the police station, and she asked him, "Blood?" She knew. She knew. Or, I guess. I don't know. I think she did. I know when I'm washing blood out of something. Junie, he does watch some of them, but he's not a true crimer. He does entertain some things, like we watched Mindhunter and stuff, but he doesn't go too deep. And sometimes I'll ask him stuff just to get a fresh point of view, but yeah, he stays away from it. And the Cash Gernon case, he won't even talk to me about it. The video just off-put him from the beginning, and he won't even. I call him my square bear because he's very serious, but that it was just way too much for him, and he can't even deal. So that one, he completely just doesn't want anything to do with it. If my son had blood on his pants, I'd be asking all the questions. Absolutely. Oh gosh. Crazy. Can you believe that she knew? She looked so sad too in the press conference. Remember, even Crazy mentioned it. She said her eyes look so puffy. She looked so tired. Poor lady. She looked so sad, and we felt so bad for her. Oh my goodness. Is that why you're moving on crazy? Because he said no more wads. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the next thing. Let me just make sure it's on the correct thing. I had to ask Amber Truth Seeker for her video, and she's not able to respond, but I hope she's okay with it. So thank you, Amber Truth Seeker. If somebody can't get to dropping her link down, somebody crazy, I'll do it. Or Demon Child. Okay, so I'm going to click out of this one. All right. Let's see. I feel that she did this to protect him. I don't believe what she did was right, but I could see how she's feeling. Absolutely. Especially if he could have lied to her. It's not necessarily, hey, Rosie. It's not necessarily something that, hey, Valerie, that she knew everything about. He could have told her that it was somebody else, or that she attacked him, or, he could have lied to her. And you're going to believe your kid, especially in something like that. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the other page. It's her kid. That's so crazy. I feel bad. I think she's a dum-dum, but I feel bad for her. I really, really do. Anybody else? Okay. How about this? This doesn't really ever really work out for me, so let's try it out. Press number 1 if you think she's to blame 100% and she should get her time for doing the crime. Or press 2 if you think she should do her the time, but you still feel really bad for her. So go. All 5 of you. Okay, let's see. I'm going to share this footage. Okay. Let's see. All right. So I'm getting... Okay, so Think for Yourself gave us the first 3. Demon Child is a 2. 1.5. Yeah, I think I'm a 1.5. Demon Child didn't answer. Yeah. I'm not sure what I'm feeling either. I guess I couldn't really give my own answer to my own question, but I tried. I don't know. I'm feeling all kinds of conflicted. I really honestly feel worse for Tristan's family. I don't know if anybody saw her funeral, but I did. And I couldn't even... I asked Crazy, I was like, are you going to do the funeral? And she didn't answer me. So I guess she was probably feeling what I was feeling, that it was just so sad. Like, her parents' speech was so sad. And at the end, they said, like, they will always be the Bailey 7. And killed me. Like, it really killed me. She should be held responsible. Yeah, she should. Wait, what was the question? Demon Child! Atención, por favor! All right. So, real quick, just to give Crazy the update. Crazy, 24.3 thousand. I've been doing this to her for a whole day. She's probably so annoyed with me by now. Let's see. So I'm going to pull this up and then show you guys what we saw on Zav's channel. So Zav was saying that she had a sub email her telling her that in the video, the one that we assume was cut up because it looks cut up, or we don't know, whatever, that in the video, the little boy, Carter, is wearing shorts that are different than the shorts that he woke up with. And we think it might be true. So let me slow it down a little bit. And I'm sorry if you guys are so sick of watching this video. I know it's really bad. Will you stop saying I'm TikTok famous? Why would they release all this information in these cases? Think for yourself. This one, no one released it. Monica did. She took it to... Oh, gosh. She took it to the Daily Mail. No one's yelling at you. Okay, so you made me miss it. Now I'm yelling at you. All right, so he comes in, right? Now look at his pants. Okay, they just look like regular shorts. No color. One more time. Okay, look at his shorts. You could see both sides of his shorts right there, right? And they just look like a uniform color. So they were saying that his clothes the next day is a different color. And I was like, you won't be able to tell. Like, not on this video surveillance. This is an awful camera. But dude, check this out. And I'm over here talking to myself because I'm not in a StreamYard. Look it. Do you see that? Check out his pants. Yes, she did release another video. She's doing it uh, to spin a narrative that she's not guilty, and maybe she isn't guilty of anything except having an unstable household. But either way, okay. So look at his shorts. He has a red line going down his shorts. Oh my goodness, you're such a liar. It's not true. Okay, so one more time. Just, I'm sorry. I'll take it seriously this time. So Dorothy Marie, we can look at it again and again because I'm not sure yet what's going on, but I'm like, what is going on here? I didn't notice at all, so I'm just kind of shocked. I just saw this a few hours ago. This is kind of why I had to go live again because I was with Zav. Zav had gone live and she had an open panel, and I jumped on, and then she showed this, and then she had technical problems and jumped off, and I was like left with this. So he has a line going down his shorts. There, it's a red line on each side. You see that? And then in the beginning, I guess you really can't see, but I don't see it. I don't see an extra line. I feel like I would. What do you guys think? Wait, is that blood? Blood where? Where do you guys see blood? Where do you see blood, crazy? Speak, woman. I don't know. I'd have to go in and do my zoom on my editor and stuff. I haven't done it. I'm gonna change the zoom and stuff and try to see. Oh, no, it's not. Never mind. Sorry. Okay, so the reason why I also wanted to pull this up is because I kind of somewhat told you guys what I was seeing one day, and then I didn't finish telling you guys. So I'm going to go back and finish since, yeah, I can. Let's see. Turn it up. And thank you, Amber. I will link you whenever I get a moment. So, let's see. Oh, never mind. It has. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so you can see it. So maybe it's better without the music, so I could just show you guys. I know some of you saw my video where I hear a door creak, but I hadn't shown people that when the door creaks, I can see a shadow of like a door opening. Watch. This is where he goes up, and then he gets up, and then he says something like, "Yeah, it was me," right here. Over here, you see this light up. This is the same time that the door opens, creaks, closes. You see how it lights up? And then it kind of just goes down. Just very slightly. So he says, yeah, that was me. And this is when you hear the door, and you can see it get brighter. But you don't know if it's because of his contrast. But I feel that it's because of a door opening and the light coming in. Which door? The one in the room. The one over here. It could very well be just from him like messing up the camera, but look. See if you can see it over on this side. So let's check over here. Right here. Yeah, we can. I don't know. This is getting weirder and weirder. Yes, the camera was an Arlo camera. Thank you for linking Amber's channel. Is there any way to find out if the night vision could possibly blur out a line? You know what, Janessa? It's a very good question. I don't have an Arlo baby camera. I have a summer infant one, but it does do night vision, so I'm going to try it. But I'm pretty sure it does because my husband wears like basketball shorts and they always have like a line, and I feel like I can see almost everything. So what do you guys think of that? A car driving back in the alley? Maybe. Yeah, the cameras were Arlo. It's like the boys knew him well. Right. So another thing is I wanted to pull it up. Oops. And go back to right here. And I wanted to show that I got a really good image of it. But I can see it in this video, the one where it's big. Where it's not the Daily Mail one. When he picks up Cash and he brings him right around here, I'm going to pause it and you can see Cash's eyes open and glowing at the camera like his eyes glow. I'm going to do it again. Ugh, crap, the top is now getting it. Okay, so I'm going to have to just do it in an editor because the title is blocking it. It's like right there. Oh, maybe I could do it right here. I know I seem crazy right now, guys, but I got it. One more time. Let me see if I can see it. And then I'll make it big. Right there. See if you can see that. Oh, this thing blocks it out. Hold on. My computer's a touchscreen, so let me see if I could oh, no. That's not what I wanted. Never mind. That didn't work out. Let me see. Let me try one more time. So there's one other time before he even brings him up towards over here where it looks like his eyes glowed, but that one I can't tell for sure. But in this one, I can actually tell. Oh man, I missed it. Crazy's probably all mad at me right here. Just make a video. Okay, right there. Do you guys see his eyes? Let's see if I can make it bigger. You see that right there? His head is turning towards the camera. And you can see the little white dot right there. No, I'm not. Okay, let's see. Let me unzoom it. All right, it passed. But also, I want to see this is window guy right here. Window guy gets me at the very end. That's when it becomes like a creepy shadow person. This guy right here. some people were trying to say that it was his reflection that was making like this little camera flash, which I don't know if it's a camera flash, but it looks like some type of flash or light. But they were saying that it was his reflection. But after he leaves is when you can see it the best. You see it right there. He's supposed to be gone. And the little brother moved. I don't know if you saw that. Carter's moving. Ugh, so creepy. Okay, I'll leave that. The music was getting creepy to me. Too creepy. Hey, Allegedly with Brittany. How are you? I don't think I've ever been so happy to see someone live. Even though this video destroys me, I will listen. Brittany, I'm so sorry. And I know at some point I'm going to get somebody that's going to be really upset at how I am and then how I am when I speak on these subjects, because I feel like, I'm always a little bit giddy. I've always kind of been that way. And then when I get nervous, I only become more inappropriately giddy. So I hope when that day comes, I'm able to take the criticism with a grain of salt, because I understand that I'm probably laughing at the most inappropriate times. And there was a moment in time where I was a true crime buff and I would listen to people, and when they would laugh at the most inappropriate times, I would be like, oh my gosh, I would go out, buy pearls to clutch them for that very reason. So I hope nobody takes offense. I'm not a professional. This is just something I do for fun. And when I say for fun, it just means that it takes up my time, kind of like some people do Sudoku puzzles, or my best friend knits. It's just something that I do. And then I found this community where they want to know everything that we find out. So they asked us, they have all the money paid up for cash for his funeral. You can contact the funeral home if you want to donate more. But I use this as something that I would have done already, and then I just show you guys while I'm doing it now. And it does give me satisfaction. I love seeing the look, not even the look on somebody's face, but the look in somebody's text when they say, wow, I didn't see that. Good job. Good eye. I'm like, oh, awesome. I found that. So I get satisfaction out of it too. But I also really do hope that at some point, maybe somewhere, somebody will learn from this story. And whether it be this story or any other one, each one has like a moral to this story. And in this one, it would be, don't leave your kids with anybody. And I know that's the moral of a lot of these stories, but that one is just like a really bad moral of the story type thing. And I hope somebody learns and at least surrenders their kid to somebody who wants them, or puts them into foster care on their own, because you can do that. I thought that whatever is happening here is much like the case that I'm going to move on to, the Samuel Olson case. And when we speak, right now when I speak on that, it's almost the same thing. Took the child from a custodial parent and didn't give him back. And instead of giving him back, left him with a non-paternal parent. And now the child's dead. And just nothing could be done. You can't take it back. And the dads aren't to blame. In some cases, it's the mom, but the dads aren't to blame because they were just negligent. And I don't think we can do much else to them to make them suffer than they're already going to suffer. Truly. No. Thanks, Rosie. I'm glad I found you, Beverage Chat. It's an awesome community. Yes. I thought I had seen you before too, in other channels, Charlie Ann. Hey, Janessa. I believe it was posted somewhere that the funeral was Thursday, but it was corrected to have been on Tuesday. I do know that the dad went to the funeral, that he said he got to say his goodbyes. That's something that I had read on Facebook, but I'm pretty sure it's true. Well, Crazy just got the info. We don't know yet. We don't know if there will be a trial, Megan. BioDead posted and tagged being there, but someone else blasted him saying he wasn't there, so I'm not sure. There isn't even a murder charge in this case yet, Megan. So far, it's just a burglary and a kidnapping charge. So we're actually looking at this video and thinking this guy ran away with this kid and he passed away in his care, but we really don't know, or in his quote-unquote care, but we really don't know. This video could be from a whole nother day. We didn't receive this video from law enforcement, and that's already sketchy enough when we get them from law enforcement. getting it from a complete civilian who may have a narrative in the situation is even more dangerous. For all we know, Darian Brown is not guilty. I'm not saying he's not, but you know, I learned today that you could be wrong. So I just want to make sure that we're giving this guy the benefit of the doubt. Oh. So, yes, I had heard that on Facebook. And Crazy saying, no, Amanda, they're saying he lied. Bio Dad didn't show for the funeral. That's freaking awful. Can you really believe that? Nothing could keep me from being there. Nothing could keep me from being there. Nothing. I don't care if I had to go into disguise. I'm going to show this one video right here that I made on the Samuel Olson case. And this one, it got glitchy towards the end, but I thought the information in this one was really important. And I did it really early in the morning just to kind of get them out, just because I found them and I thought they were really interesting. And then, they didn't really get viewed a lot, which is fine, but I thought it was great information. This is a vlog by Brandon Walker. He's a reporter from the Texas area, or the area of Houston where this was. I want to say Dallas because of Cash Gernon. There's Texas is like the new Florida right now. Hey, Flower Power, thank you so much. Hey, Alicia, how are you? Alicia. Has the dad been arrested yet for his previous charges? Carrie Fleming, from my understanding, I know you're talking about the Cash Gernon case. He has not. He is still essentially on the run. Open Minds, hey, what's up? I'm sure he's still putting himself first and hiding from a warrant or two. What a jerk. Right. And the whole reason he had a warrant is because he didn't want to go to rehab. So this could have all been done. He could have just gone to rehab and been out, but he avoided rehab. We know why. And now he has jail, and now he's got to go to jail. Now all of his kids are going to be missing a dad, and he's missing a son. It's freaking sad. Let's see, whatever happened to the twin boy who went missing? The two twin boys who went missing. Oh, I believe they were Irish twins. Orrin and Orson West. No developments. Though they were from California City, California, and then they moved to Bakersfield, they moved from Bakersfield, California to California City, California, and they were never seen in California City, California that we know of. And then they disappeared, and we haven't heard an update about them. Really haven't. Hey, Sweet Pea Yee, what's up? Okay, so I'm going to go and hook myself into this other one right here, the Samuel Olson case. And let me link it real quick. And it's just at the very end that I wanted to share. It's not the whole video, so I'm not going to show everything. But at the very end, he says something that was a little bit important. And it's something that we know, but it's nice hearing it firsthand from somebody that heard it themselves. So let's share this. Okay.
To be that officer if she could see a name on it. So they began to zero. People are looking for answers just about where the boy was and why he was where he was. You may recall that Teresa Balboa initially told me in an interview this week on Monday that on May
he moves his camera a lot, so it's not my fault.
Person, but we're still working to uncover more information about that. Investigators also say that they are still talking to Samuel's father, Dalton Olson, who today spoke to KPRC2 as well, telling us that he just hasn't been able to breathe all day, and thoughts of this possibly being a crime committed by his girlfriend. He said that he couldn't understand why Teresa would do it, he says, and he's looking for answers there. A lot of people are looking for answers just about where the boy was and why he was where he was. You may recall that Teresa Balboa initially told me in an interview this week on Monday that on May 27th, she was at her mother's house in southwestern Houston, where she was supposed to be taking Samuel to school. This was on May 27th, she says, when the boy's biological mother showed up at that house with a man who was dressed as a police officer. Come to find out, according to Balboa and at the time, Dalton Olson, that officer was a fake cop. But again, in the corroboration of these details, Houston police would say that while they heard that allegation from the biological father and Teresa Balboa, the child's mother, Samuel Olson's mother, Sarah Olson, said that she didn't have the boy either. And investigators said, as far as they're concerned, her story, her alibi was true. So they began to zero in on Teresa Balboa because there were several inconsistencies in her account. And when we were interviewing her from the scene, and I've said this a couple nights here over the course of my reporting on this, she wasn't able to give specifics about the person she saw, only describing the characteristics of a police officer's uniform, which is pretty standard fare no matter the jurisdiction. So I asked if she could give us any physical characteristics of the person believed to be that officer, if she could see a name on a badge, and she said no. Her words in that interview were she was standing by the door, they were toward the end of a driveway, she was anxious, and just thought that because she didn't have custody of the boy, she turned him over. Again, investigators now say that story is not factual, and they say that there were many inconsistencies in Balboa's story, in her account, and so that's why they grew some suspicion with her. Also, shortly after that interview on Monday, from the scene of a field in Webster where investigators were searching, including volunteers with Texas EquiSearch potentially for this kid's body, Teresa was there handing out flyers and speaking to the media with Dalton Olson. But then at that location, we found out, she left and she had not been seen since. I say had not because the last time she was seen, now we all know, was last night here in Jasper at that motel where she was taken into custody. And right now she is still being held here at the Jasper County Sheriff's Office being held, but she will eventually make her way to Harris County. Again, still other questions about why the boy allegedly was in Balboa's possession. We uncovered on Monday that there was that Balboa herself was out on bond. She faced an assault charge from an alleged incident in November of last year, where she is accused of assaulting Dalton Olson. And because of that charge, she has a bond agreement. She was out on bond, and the terms of that agreement were to keep her away from Dalton Olson and also his family. That would mean the boy. So if you read through that, that would mean at least a violation of the bond agreement there. Investigators have not answered that question just yet, despite what the paperwork says, because they're still looking through a lot there. But that would raise an eyebrow in the investigation as to why the boy was with Teresa Balboa, with which to begin, considering that there was that bond agreement as a result of the assault charge that's still on the books. Moreover, there are questions about custody because all of this was taking place amidst a pretty nasty custody battle between Dalton Olson and Sarah Olson, the biological parents of Samuel Olson. Now, the mother, according to her legal team last night, said that she hadn't had custody of her son since January of last year. There is another assault incident that took place between the two biological parents last year, and another attorney told me that the custody issues had something to do with that too. But there was a motion filed just within the past few weeks by representation of Dalton Olson to change the custodial agreement because, as Houston police said, custody was being shared.
I have questions. So, one thing I've heard that...
But first, it's in a horrific crash leaves a mother dead and her 15-year-old daughter.
One thing I had heard that I haven't seen, and I wish it was on camera. I'm sure it's one of those things that happened off camera. But one of my personal heroes is Tim Miller from Texas EquiSearch. Tim Miller is, if you've ever seen anybody get lost in the South and you've seen people on boats and helicopters and searching by foot, scale by scale, it's Tim Miller from EquiSearch. And he does it all with donations, and he does it out of the goodness of his heart. And it's all because his daughter was murdered, and it's his journey in life to help out parents. So I really, really hate it when people use Tim Miller and they're faking the funk. There's really no baby to be found. They're using all of his resources. And I've seen this happen in lots of cases. Normally, he is a man of integrity 100%. He will not hurt the case. He keeps his mouth mum. Yes, he was trying to help find Kaylee Anthony. He tried to find Haley Cummings. He's done a lot of big cases, and a lot of good cases. And he is normally so respectful. He was the reason why I started following this case, because he said on camera, her story's iffy, and I don't believe her. And it was like, thank you so much. And I was like, oh boy, if Tim Miller is saying that before they're telling us anything, I have to follow this case. And so I did a Where is Samuel video. I did 2 Where is Samuel videos, or maybe 3, before this happened. It all happened really fast. From what I heard, this is just a rumor, and I hope it is true, that Teresa was talking to him and she told him her story, and he said, I don't believe you. And he jumped on his quad and rode away. And I was like, yes, Tim Miller. Thank you. Thank you for that. Because they were at her boyfriend's house searching, not at her mother's house where she's said to have been, but at her boyfriend's house. They were searching at her boyfriend's house outside. Why are they passing out flyers if, you guys know. We got questions. Just ridiculous questions. Somebody asked about Benjamin Rivera, the alleged ex-boyfriend who she lived with. I actually have a Facebook post that somebody posted, obviously off of Facebook, and I'm going to send it to myself and show it. I'm going to say her first name. Her name is Peggy. So thank you, Peggy. If you see this, you did a wonderful little mock-up, because I really had trouble finding any info on him at all. And you would expect somebody who's been an accomplice to a murder, a very high-profile murder, would be, all over the news. She did crazy. She had 2 boyfriends. She had an ex-boyfriend she was living with in a 1-bedroom apartment where she kept Samuel, and the bathroom where they kept him for 2 days, 3 basically, it was connected to the bedroom. So she was sleeping on the same bed that she had the baby on, the dead baby. And then she continued to use the restroom in this apartment after he was gone, but he had been in there, right? Unless she didn't shower, which is totally possible too. But either way, this baby was on the bed when he came home and found him passed. And then she continued to sleep there because in his affidavit, he later says that when he came home, I believe it was what date was it? It was after the little boy had passed away. I'm so brain farted today. You guys know I normally would know all this stuff. I believe this was on May 26th, May 27th. He came home in the morning, and her and her mom were asleep on the bed. So her mom was even sleeping on the bed. That room had to have smelled. Texas is hot, even though they're saying it's been colder. What do you guys think? I mean, there's a saying in Spanish que el pescado al 3 días huele. Any fish within 3 days is going to stink. And I'm not saying this baby's a fish, but like what they're trying to say is anything outside of the body of water where it belongs, anything past, will start to smell within 3 days. And it was within the 3 days, and they had to continue living there. They had to have known, right? So they put him in a bag first, and then Benjamin brought it upon himself to go to Walmart, purchase plastic wrap and duct tape, and I'm not sure if he bought the zip ties there or if they already had them, but it sounds like they probably already had them. And he bought zip ties, and he came back in the bin, and they put the baby in the bin. And after putting the baby in the bin, they took him to the storage unit where he stayed until they found him. So I also have a picture of the second, I want to say accomplice, just so know what we're talking. You guys know what I'm talking about. But the second accomplice would be who they are saying was just a friend who helped her move the tote from the storage unit to his truck. He got to the hotel. He rented her a hotel room. He went into the room with her for an hour and a half. And then before he left, he took the smelly tote and put it into the bedroom. And I say the smelly tote because that's what he said in his tip line. So when he called the tip line, he said that the bin smelled. Did he smell it the first time or the second time? I think he smelled it the first time. And he still went and hung out with her in a room for an hour and a half. Doing what? I don't know. But, yeah. Yes, he had passed away already. Thank you, Valerie. Oh, sorry. Are you talking about the... Oh, man. Was his name Kyron? Oh, sorry, guys, if I'm missing some of your comments. Sally, I believe I saw you up there. Sally, that girl. Okay, so I'm going to pull this picture up real quick so you guys can see this this guy right here. I know, Alicia, you've been pretty distraught over this. I mean, as we all should be, but I've seen you being affected. You and Jessica Lynn. Jessica Lynn's been very affected by this case too, and she's so mad at Dalton. And I understand. I really do. I think I have to be more of like, I have to see it from all angles because we don't know. And I actually have a story to tell you guys about Dalton as well. Right now that some guy was telling, and he sent it to me, and he gave me permission to read his story. I told him I don't need to know any more details, just whatever you told me is good. And it's very interesting. So it gives us a little bit of insight into what Dalton did prior to all of this. From what I read on the internet, he was always troubled, didn't have jobs, and that when Sarah left him, that she left him because they were doing all bad, but that she had to leave him, that he wasn't putting them in a good situation. So this is dude. Yeah, the Insomniacs crew, Lauren Booth. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to follow Crazy Crime Chicks channel. She does this too, but she usually does a little bit earlier. So, right here, Brandon Rivera. Benjamin Rivera. Don't listen to me. Just only listen to me a little bit. So, Mr. Benjamin Rivera is what, from my understanding, allegedly, the ex-boyfriend of Teresa Balboa, the woman who is charged right now in the tampering with human corpse evidence in the Samuel Olson case. Samuel went missing, but he really wasn't missing. She knew where he was the whole time, and homeboy right here knew where he was too. So this guy right here, a very sane-looking individual with eyes and skin and a nose and a mouth, came home, possibly to this bathroom, and found a little boy on his bed covered in bruises by his own admission. So then he put him in a tub for 2 days. I don't know if with ice. I don't know if they were going to try to conceal it. I don't know what they were. But her ex, Teresa Balboa's ex-husband, carried him around like a trophy. And I thought those were very interesting words. A trophy. Like she was keeping him as her prize. And I didn't say that, he did. I just listened. And I think, what does he know more? Sarah Olson, what happened, Alicia? Oh, what does he know more that he's thinking that, right? That he has to say that she was going around with him, like if he was a prize of some sort, like a trophy, like she had won something by having him there. I thought that was a very, very creepy thing to say. Teresa Balboa is the psycho girlfriend. Yes, she is. Good. That's probably, I mean, if you look up Teresa Balboa in the dictionary, you will see psycho girlfriend right next to it. Honestly, thank you, Lauren Booth. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you guys. That's crazy that this that super chats work. Let's see. Oh, there you go. That was the one that I wanted to read. Charlie Ann. That all these men in her life, she must got the goods because homegirl big. Yeah. To be completely honest with you, I thought she had, and Crazy's called me out for this before because I've said I don't think NK was that unattractive. She needed to wear her skim creams, but I don't think that she was an unattractive girl. And same with Teresa Balboa. Of course, she's gonna look bummy in her interviews because she watched a lot of movies and she knows that she has to keep it bummy for to look desperate, kind of like when they say that whenever popular creators on YouTube, not us like here in true crime, but like I'm talking like drama community, like the makeup community, whenever they have like a big apology to make, they're always like wearing like sweats and a sweater, no makeup, and they're always crying into the camera. Like I feel like that was what she was going for, and then she put on her smart girl glasses and then she went about her way. Not trying to ramble here, but that's the girl that this guy found interesting enough to come home, see a little boy on a bed, wrap him in, put him in a tub. 3 days later, go to Walmart, buy plastic sheeting, come back, put the little boy in there, wrap him up, tape it up, put him into a container and put zip ties on it because somebody's going to get into it. I don't know. I mean, where they think he was going to crawl out. That's how guilty they were. Like, what's the point of putting zip ties on it? You're going to go put it in a storage unit. That's how guilty they felt. And I don't know if he wasn't involved, because if he was there to cover up and help her cover up, he was probably there for half of the abuse. They were probably sitting around in the living room, smacking this little boy around that didn't belong to them, thinking he was annoying because his daddy wasn't there. That's what I'm saying when I think of him. He makes me sick. He makes me absolutely sick. Disgusting that he is a person and that he lived for 17 days knowing that there was a little boy literally decaying because he didn't want to say anything. I hope he smells, sees, lives, remembers all of that. I really do. And I don't mean to sound like one of those people like, I'm going to go in on him like that. No, I really do. I hope he's not under arrest, Hard Ice. He is not. He's not under arrest. And people are saying that he took a plea agreement and stuff. And I'm like, I know that you have to go to trial for that, but I don't know. I hope not. I don't know. All I can say is, God, you gotta give me a warning for the girl. You gotta give me a warning before you throw out one of the Rosie. Oh man, yeah. This guy. He makes me sick. He makes me so sick. Oh, this girl, Casey Anthony. Yeah, should we watch that? I've seen it. I've only seen it once, and I haven't uploaded it, and I'm completely obsessed with Casey Anthony. That was my case. So we should watch that before I end this. Let's see. I'm going to show you one other picture, though, that I have. Let me unshare real quick. And, I actually have 2 more things I have to tell you about this case. I was going to read to you guys one thing that I found out yesterday on Facebook. And this is our other friend who, by all accounts, is somewhat of a hero. You're good. He's somewhat of a hero because he's the one who drove her from the Walmart to Jasper, Texas, rented her a hotel room, sat with her for an hour and a half, and then carried the tote inside for her because she couldn't even do that. So yeah, this guy was the tipster, but he's also her friend. He came to her rescue. She called him and said she'd gotten in an argument. Who she got in an argument with, I don't know. I'm assuming either Benjamin or her mom. And I know that her mom was MIA all day. She wasn't at home because the news reporters and the cops were sitting. No, the news reporters and cops are saying that I lost my train of thought. Oh, they were sitting outside her house all day waiting for her to get there, and the cops were. And when the news reporter asked her when she got home at night, she's like, "Didn't you know?" She's like, "No, I didn't know. I didn't know anything of any of this was happening." Like, really, you didn't know any of this was happening? Your daughter didn't call you? You don't know any of this. Your neighbors didn't call you to let you know that there was FBI literally trying to get into your home, walking all around your yard. Yes, and that Malia Davis was a case just like this. It should have ended there. Seriously. I mean, not just that, this woman gave almost word for word the same account as Terrell Rhodes. Did she watch the news? Did they see drink the same stupid water? Like, what happened there? She was planning on taking it to Louisiana, trusting the Lord. That's what they say. Nicole Morgan. Thank you. Thank you so much. Nicole Morgan, when are you going to write a true crime book about us? About all of us crazies over here? I don't know if you guys know that Nicole Morgan is a award-winning writer, and she's our friend. She just comes and kicks it with us. We just got some professional journalists over here just reading all of our typos and bad, seeing all of our bad grammar. Okay. Is there a reason for him not being arrested? I don't know. Hey, Leilani Buchanan. Okay, so there was one more thing that I was going to read. I'm going to read you guys. Oh, no way. Someone sent me that interview, guys. Don Cobb. Thank you. The Tim Miller one. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. So let's see. Open an app. Okay. Let me read you guys one thing really quick. And then I will show that video. And then I got one more other thing that I was going to do. So now you guys got me on the life forever. Like you guys always ask me. Right. Let's see. Go back to my YouTube. I can't be the only person obsessed with this case, right? And I hate to call it a case because it's Samuel and he's a little boy that unfortunately we all forget because this woman is so awful that we focus in on her, kind of like what we do with a lot of cases. And sometimes I feel like I focus in on certain things because I don't want to think about what happened the entire time because I do get sad. And I was telling Sky that the other day I was in Molly Golightly's chat, and Molly Golightly and Tiffany Marie are covering Cash Gernon's case pretty heavily. And Molly Golightly had a deja vu. And I was like, that's pretty weird that she had a deja vu. And I went to sleep and I ended up dreaming that I was in in the bedroom, literally like watching it go down. And it wasn't scary. It was more eerie. Like I was watching it all happen, and it was happening like it does, like it happens in the video. Like it was all like how it appears. And it was creepy. It was just creepy. It was just creepy to be there. And I don't really get nightmares about this stuff, but I will always have bad anxiety. But I don't think it makes my anxiety any worse. I think it helps me not focus on things. Like I'm extremely outgoing, but I get shy. Sorry, I had a burp. I get really shy. And a lot of people don't see that because they see that I'm outgoing. They're like, how are you shy? I'm painfully shy. It takes me sweating and freaking out right before I go live, when in reality, all I have to do is go live. All I have to do is jump on. It's not that hard, but just the gearing up for it, it makes it so much harder. So I'm going to pull up that video that Dawn sent me. And it's not my Dawn. It's another Dawn. Just Dawn's coming through. Okay, let's see. Pause it. Make it bigger.
Situation. Thank you, Jay. Maternal grant.
Okay, let's see. Let me connect it. What's in Louisiana? Did I miss something? Trusting the Lord. From what I understand, we think maybe, I don't know. I don't even really want to say, but I think that maybe the roommate was from Louisiana and they were going to go feed him to the gators. Right, Alicia? Mm-hmm. Exactly. Thank you, Flower Power. I really appreciate that. I really do. Like I said, this is just something that I would have done normally, but now, please no Casey Anthony, says Chihuahua Dawson. I hate that I am obsessed with Casey Anthony. This is something that I would have done normally, and then I would have just shared it. I would have shared it anyway. Or now I just share it. If you guys have ever watched my videos and thought, God, that was crappy, I know you guys are all going to tell me they're good. Whatever. You guys liars. But you have to give me leeway. I literally learned how to edit videos in January. Before that, I could barely edit a picture. So, all right, here we go.
Grandmother describes her feelings today as both sides of the boy's family react to new developments in this case. Jason Miles is live from where suspect Teresa Balboa was last known to live with more on this. Jason.
Yeah, this is that apartment complex you just mentioned near Webster. We're kind of in southeast Houston. I'm told this is where Teresa Balboa kept little Samuel, her current boyfriend's child, with her ex-boyfriend. It's all kind of complicated, but Texas EquiSearch founder Tim Miller says he was always skeptical of Balboa's story. Texas EquiSearch helped look for 6-year-old Samuel Olson, despite founder Tim Miller's gut feelings.
Thank you,
I was
Don.
not very optimistic this child was ever going to be found.
He said that became more clear following conversations with the boy's father's girlfriend, Teresa Balboa, who was charged today in connection with the case following last night's discovery of what's believed to be little Samuel's body.
So I told her, I said, I'm so damn disappointed in you. I said, you know what, every word you said in there is a lie. And that's when things started unraveling, I think.
Miller said it was difficult from the beginning, pinning down the last time family members saw Samuel.
The last person Sam was seen with was with Teresa Balboa,
including the boy's father and paternal grandmother, with whom we spoke yesterday, and who Miller was with following news that a body was found.
I was with that family until about 12:30 after midnight, and it was devastating being over there last night, seeing Dad going through all the pain and grief and everything he was going through. And
Miller has his own theories about what happened to Samuel and believes the investigation is far from over. There was an ongoing custody dispute between Samuel's mother and father, and his father actually had a restraining order against Teresa Balboa, the woman now charged in connection to the case. Certainly just, as I mentioned, a complicated situation and a very sad and tragic ending for this little young man. Back to you.
Yeah, so many confusing details here, but just a heartbreaking.
So, I'm just joking with you crazy. I know it's been a busy week and this all went down in 3 days. So give me a second to cough and I'll jump right back on. Give me a sec. Tim Miller is one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. Him and Mark Klass from the Mark Klass Foundation, whose daughter Polly Klass was one of the reasons why I think I'm a murderino forever and ever. And, you know, rest in peace, Polly. Oh my gosh. Gosh, it's been such a long few days, guys. I'm really sorry. I'm not yelling at you crazy. Okay, so crazy. This guy and his ex, Sarah, so Dalton and Sarah were together and they had Samuel and then they separated and she had custody of Samuel. This part I'm unsure of, but at some point she and Samuel got into an argument at the baby's birthday party and she tried to leave with Samuel and he jumped in front of her car, or they did, you know, that argument thing. Thank you. They did that argument thing that people do, and she hit him with her car. Now, this is true. There was, she got arrested. She got a restraining order put on her and all this stuff. And then he essentially got to keep the kid. Because when stuff like that happens and you call the cops on your significant other or your ex and they have to go to jail, you're left with the baby, right? So he essentially kept the baby from her after this happened. And because she had a restraining order against her, she couldn't come within his home. She couldn't come within 400 yards of him. So there was 2 times that she was arrested. She was arrested or charged with trespassing. Yes, she was charged with trespassing. See, Elise has gone and figured it out for me. She was arrested for trespassing or charged with trespassing because she tried to get her son back twice, and because he had a order of protection against her, he could call the cops on her. So that goes above and beyond a child care agreement, because the cops then tell you to hold that in a civil court. That's a family matter. That's a family matter. You got to figure that out. That's a family matter, and they won't help you remove the kids. The case got dropped in yes. So I was going to say that, Don, thank you. That was what I was going to say next. So as of the day before yesterday, they dropped all the charges against his mom, which is very sweet, but a little bit too freaking late. Just a little bit too late. Just a little bit too late. I'm happy that they acknowledged that they were wrong in that sense, but in all reality, this poor woman, she's going to be suffering enough. And then she has all these people asking her, why didn't you have your kid? Things happen, you know. They should have listened to Sarah. Absolutely. They should have listened to Sarah. I don't deny that. So I'm going to show, I'm going to read to you guys one more thing about this case, and then we'll move on to the Casey Anthony, and then I'll bounce out. Somebody said no Casey Anthony, but I'm sorry. I love it. Let's see. Also, I wanted to say that right here, I have a video of Dalton getting into the car, and you can't see who's in the driver's side, but this is her car. This is the car that she was driving that got impounded, and it looks like they're arguing in there. And then this is when Tim Miller's saying that he told her off, basically, and this is where she disappeared from. So we don't know what happened. That might be the argument she got in, right? I woke up and this. Hi, Amanda. What's up? I don't think Dalton. I don't think Dalton was involved. I think he's only guilty of being a dum-dum, a really bad dum-dum. And I think that even though he should probably get charges, I think having to live with his heart for the rest of his life is going to be far more than enough. There's nothing more that can happen to him, honestly. Really. If she had a car, why did she need Nate to drive her to the motel room? Who's Nate? Flower Power, can you enlighten me? Who's Nate? We don't know who drove her to the motel. That was, okay, no. Two people drove her. So somebody drove her to Walmart. We don't know who yet. I'm thinking it was her mom or Benjamin. But either way, she got to Walmart without her car because her car was being impounded. Oh, her mate. Oh, I see. Okay, then yeah, you got it. Okay, perfect. And let me see. I'm gonna oh yeah. Okay, so I was gonna stop it there, and then I was gonna read this out to you guys. This is really crazy, guys. Okay, I asked him for permission to use this and read it out, and he gave me permission. Again, this is all he said, she said, so it could be a lie. I don't know why this guy, I mean, people have many reasons for lying, but he's not going to get famous or anything. He's not asking for interviews. He could have asked me for an interview or asked to come on the channel or whatever, but he didn't. He just wanted us to know. Okay, so somebody, first of all, let me read this first. A lady named Magdalena on Facebook says, they were still sleeping together. She called into my work and we actually discussed what was going on in the situation. I mean, I understand. No one has to believe me until I find the chat or the call, which I have tech support trying to help me from my, trying to provide it so I could get it to the police department. And also, didn't Ben say he came home and found Sam dead on the bed and bruised? So they continued to sleep in that bed where she killed that baby and then slept with him in the bathroom for 2 days. Like, how? So this was just somebody who claimed that she knew her and that Teresa was calling her nonchalantly, like kind of just complaining and trying to vent to her while she was at work and asking about Benjamin and stuff. So is Tim Miller Samuel's dad? No, Rosie Casbah. Tim Miller is this gentleman right here. Oops, sorry. This gentleman right here, and he runs Texas EquiSearch. They are a search development team looking for lost people, mostly children. Lauren Booth, that's great. That's really good, actually, for the environment. Octavia! She's a troll. Somebody block her. Just kidding. Don't block her. Don't block her. Okay, so this is from a guy named Steven. He says, years ago, Dalton and Sarah separated. Me and her dated briefly. She decided to see if she could get back with her family. We stopped talking. Months later, Dalton pretended to be her on the phone and succeeded in having me meet with, quote-unquote, her. Turns out it was him messaging me from her phone. He didn't like that she had stuff going on while they were separated. ? I don't know. But I went to meet her, and it was him and a friend. They blocked my car in, and lucky me, a tow truck driver pulls up and asks if everything is okay. That's when Dalton moves the car, blocking my car in, and I took off quickly. He chased me for a bit, but I can drive. Sunglasses face like he's a cool guy. So I lost him. Next morning, I messaged by Samuel's mom, Sarah, telling me it was all him, Dalton, and he had zip ties and he was planning on abducting me. True story. He planning on abducting me. True story. Left details out that aren't pertinent to the story, but it's fact. He's a piece of shit. So, yes. That's what he told me, and then I wrote to him just to ask him if I could tell tell what he had said, and I said I don't need any more. I just kind of want to know, and I told him that I was kind of more so on Dalton's side, and he said, "I don't mind. I'm sorry you've been on Dalton's side. I don't know how. It's pretty obvious he did a lot of wrong things that led to Samuel's death, but yes, you can use my statement. I don't mind." Yeah. That is absolutely correct, Don Cobb. Tim Miller, his daughter was murdered, and it's why he formed Texas Echo Search, and he's been helping for a very long time, much like the Mark Class Foundation. That was not recent? What was not recent? Oh, no, it was not recent at all. No, it was a long, long time ago. But even so, I still think it's interesting. I do. I think it's very interesting. I'm sorry if I didn't mention that it was an older thing. I had read it earlier tonight, so forgive me. Let me stop this real quick and then pull up the next thing that I was gonna do. But yes, it was an older thing, but I still think it's kind of gives you an idea of what's possible, and of course I'm not jumping to the zip ties thing, but it makes you think like, okay, I don't know. It's all out there. We don't know. I was going to look up the. You know what? I will do it. I will actually do that one next time. The Casey Anthony one. I'll just do that one on its own. But I will do something else. I'll play this one real quick. Because this one's actually pretty interesting. Here it is. Evidence details. I hate when I'm I'm always by myself over here, but I hate when I'm over here by myself and it gets quiet for a few seconds. I panic because it feels like it's forever, and it's really not. Okay, let's see.
Millbrook Elementary School.
Okay, let me put it on StreamYard now. What are you guys doing over there? Is everybody okay? Yeah, Tim Miller is amazing. You would what, Lauren? Oh, Lauren Booth, I saw that you were saying that you work at a mortuary. Was that correct? That's pretty freaking awesome, to be honest with you. It's like you're saying, it's got to be a tough job, but it makes you got balls and story to tell. Let's see. Amanda White said, "Thank you so much. Any updates on the case where the mom stabbed her 2 kids in her house?" Yes, Flower Power. So as of right now, we're actually just going through the motions of Sarah. She's in a pleader case, and Winter, actually, Don Keller and I were supposed to write to Winter, and we both lagged, and we were saying today we were going to ask her aunt, and I didn't. So I have to ask and make sure that I find out if Winter is still in the hospital. I assume she is. She survived so many stab wounds. But Winter Gano was in the hospital, and I had her dress up on a video and on a post on my YouTube and my community page. But her aunt had been letting me know that she was going to be there for a long time, so it's a possibility that she's still there. I will find out by tomorrow, but the update is that she's safe, and the only thing they really need from us is our support, our love, our understanding, and then, they have GoFundMes because costs are astronomical for both fathers involved in the case. And yes, to Samuel's mom, Sarah, may you find the strength. We hope you cope for the loss. Sincere condolences. Love, Sydney. Yes, and also um, to Cash's mom. Uh, Despite the fact, the same thing that, we want to blame her because her son wasn't in her care when he passed, but at the same time, we aren't one to judge, and she still lost her son. So, we got to give her that much that we should feel better. What crazy? Uh, don't drop your channel. We're very like civilized with this channel. What'd you do, Octavia? She's a tro. I appreciate the fact that you guys are actually talking about a case. Oh, you can't even say that word here. Lauren, my nephew was cremated. Oh, that's so sad. Okay, so I'm gonna play this one.
School, where court records indicate that Samuel Olson attended school. So this document, the complaint we finally got from Houston Police, is chock full of information. I wanted to go over it with you, some of it. I mean, Holbrook Elementary is one place that Dalton Olson mentioned to me. He told me that he walks his son to school. He was telling me on Tuesday, I walk my son to school every day. I love my kid. And then this court document we got today corroborates that school employees say Dalton did walk his son to school. But more than that, the document reveals some really, really disturbing things about this child. According to this criminal complaint filed by Houston Police that we obtained today, it says that Teresa told her roommate that Samuel Olson was dead back on May 10th. She called him and said, "Come home, Samuel's dead." So the roommate comes home to the apartment he shares with Teresa in Webster and sees the child dead on a bed. And then, according to this court document, Teresa and her roommate then moved the child's body to a bathtub where the body remained for 2 days. Then, the court document says that Teresa's roommate went to Walmart, bought some supplies, including a plastic container, and brought it home to wrap the child's body in a plastic covering with tape and put it inside the container. Then they brought it to a storage unit in Webster, where that poor little 6-year-old child apparently remained for 2.5 weeks. So then she files. Then she reports him missing. May 27th. Okay, we all know that story. And apparently, according to the court document, it was Dalton, her fiance, who called and filed that police report after she told him. And so then they begin the search. Police begin interviewing everybody. And then we get to May 31st, when you see Teresa Balboa on camera. She's interviewed by some of the media. Dalton Olson is interviewed by some of the media. And they're all out there looking for the little boy, handing out flyers. Well, this court record indicates apparently what this woman did after handing out flyers. When both Dalton and his mom, Tanya, Sam's grandma, told me she suddenly disappeared while handing out flyers. And they were desperate. They didn't know where she went. They were suddenly freaked out. Apparently, according to this court document, the location where Teresa went was she went to her phone to call her friend Dylan in Cold Spring and say, "Hey Dylan, I need help. I was in an altercation. Can you come get me?" So she gets her friend Dylan to pick her up in Webster, and also to pick up her plastic container. Now, whether or not Dylan knew what was in that plastic container, I don't know, but the document says that Dylan took Teresa to Jasper with her plastic container in his pickup truck, and surveillance video, according to the court record, shows that Dylan dragged that container into the motel room, kind of got her situated and checked her in himself with his ID, and then took off. So he checked her in, brought that container in there. He said it did reek of a horrible odor. I mean, this is a child, according to this court document, had been dead since May 10th. And now this is June 1st that he's checking her into the hotel. So whatever's in that container smells terrible to him. He checks her in, and then he heads home to Cold Spring. But this guy, I'm going to call Dylan a hero, because what he did is he immediately called Crime Stoppers and told them, I think I know where this missing girl Teresa Balboa is, and I think I know where Sam Olson is. So it was within a matter of hours that police then went and made the arrest, opened that container, and found a child's body. So we're getting all these details newly from the criminal complaint released today from Harris County District Clerk. Horrifying details. Dalton, the dad, is not mentioned much in that document. That he is mentioned as walking his son to school, and that the last time he was at school was April 30th. Now, Dalton and his mom, Sam's grandma, told me that Sam spent that final weekend in April at his grandma's house in Santa Fe, Dalton's mom's house, and that by June 2nd, or by May 2nd, which was the end of that weekend, the final weekend of April, into May 2nd, that's a weekend he spent at Tanya's. He was not feeling well. Both Tanya and Dalton told me that Sam was not feeling well on May 2nd. So Sam said he lives here in Cypress, where I'm located right now. I'm going to have to go live on TV here. Okay, I have time to talk. Sam was not feeling well. Dalton was supposed to bring him back here to Cypress, where he lives with his grandfather. So Dalton lives with his high-risk grandfather, high risk for COVID. If Sam had COVID, that would be really bad for Grandpa. So what he did is he took Sam directly to Webster, to Teresa's apartment, to quarantine for 2 weeks to make sure he didn't infect his high-risk grandfather. That is the story Dalton told me on Tuesday. And then apparently, according to this court record, Sam never made it out of quarantine alive. But get this, another thing Dalton told me on Tuesday, because he was talking to me a lot on the phone. He had chosen not to go on camera anymore. He wanted his mom to be the spokesperson for the family to keep the clarity alive.
You hear that? This
Dalton
is before
told me on Tuesday.
Before his press conference. Before the press conference was supposed to happen, he had already decided he didn't want to go on camera anymore. Now, that's suspicious to me. But also the mom doesn't want to be on camera, so maybe they're just embarrassed. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
That he would talk to his son on the phone throughout his son's quarantine in Webster. And he said that he spoke with little Sam most recently on the phone on May 21st. And then he said he also talked on the phone with Teresa on May 22nd, during which he heard his son Sam in the background, because his son is kind of a loudmouth little boy, joking, yelling at the TV. He was hearing his son in the background, he said, on May 22nd, which directly contradicts this new court document, which says that Teresa told her roommate Sam's dead on May 10th. So Sam would have been dead for 11 days on May 21st when Dalton allegedly had that phone call with his son. So I'm just not sure that everything I'm hearing from everyone is true. Obviously, like police said, there's conflicting stories. This is a complicated case.
Complicated.
But I thought I'd give you guys an information dump on the information I'm getting. Dalton did admit to me he had not seen his son since May 2nd when he dropped him off in Webster to quarantine. But he said he talked to him most recently May 21st. That's what he told me on the phone on Tuesday. This court document from Houston Police says that the people they interviewed, Teresa's roommate apparently saw Sam dead on May 10th. We still don't know, how he died. That document doesn't say anything about how he died. That's what we've got so far. What a tragic story. My heart goes out to this family. Can't imagine what the position they're in. Anyway, we are going to go do a live report for the 6 o'clock news, Fox 26, if you want to tune in.
How exciting, right? To be a reporter. I mean, again, how weird of me to say that for something like this, but look at Sandy. Oh, don't strike me. Oops. But I hope that they find a resolution, at least with that. We don't know where he worked. So what she's saying is he talked to his son the 21st. That makes him saying that he talked to his son 6 days before he was reported missing and 11 days after he was actually dead. I have questions. Dalton, I'm so sorry. That's just so weird, right? That shouldn't be like that. So what I'm thinking is that maybe because he was still on his girlfriend's side, we saw her love bombing him, we saw her hugging him up and kissing on him. Maybe she had convinced him of something. So in the Casey Anthony case, there was something that happened like this where one of her boyfriends had talked to her, maybe I think like 18 days after we all suspect that Kaylee died. And he said that he heard Kaylee in the background. But she could have been playing a video. We don't know. These things, these people, they're manipulative. Look at her. She made up this whole story. She was blaming his mom. I'm sorry. But so I guess because I didn't want to show that Casey Anthony thing after all, I can actually read you guys the important parts of the report. Like the really important parts. That love bombing is so gross, Amanda Whiteside. And you see it in cases where the person did it and they're trying to cover it up. Like the Michael Whisnand case. That one's actually has an update too. So I could probably give you guys an update before we go. I can't remember where I saw it, but someone posted a pic of the dad 1 year ago, and now I'm definitely on drugs. We can only speculate about that. I don't know. And I think it was Alicia saying meth psychosis, and I was like, yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. They literally they go into a real hallucinogenic state, and a real hallucinogen is where they don't know how they got there, they don't know how to get out, and they're not in control of themselves. So it's kind of like a PCP thing, All right, so let me read this to you real quick. And then I said I was going to show you, the Michael Whisnand thing. I believe his name is Michael. I hope his name is Michael. Okay. Let's see. To defend on May 30th. Okay, let's see. So I'm just skipping to the second page. I do have questions, John. It can be made from household chemicals, Alicia, and that's probably the worst ones. But it sometimes is made from harder chemicals than just household chemicals. But that's actually called biker crank. All right. So, Affiant learned that Dalton Olson and the defendant's live-in roommate, Benjamin Rivera, let me get closer, were with the complainant at their place of residence located at blank, 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 apartment 1810, Webster Harris County, Texas. Now, this is a one-bedroom apartment with the bathroom attached to the bedroom. A defendant reported to Father Dalton Olson that Samuel was missing on May 27th, 2021. Teresa learned that Detective Fort and Detective King interviewed Benjamin Rivera on May 28, 2021, and learned that Benjamin Rivera had come home at approximately 4 a.m. in the morning on May 27, 2021, and saw Teresa and Teresa Balboa's mother, June Cook Balboa, sleeping in a bedroom inside the apartment. Defendant Balboa reported to have left the apartment and arrived at McAvoy Drive, where Samuel Olson was last reported to be seen by defendant Balboa. So he's basically stating that she left from their apartment after having been sleeping on the bed. He saw them sleeping on the bed, that she left to her mom's house, and that's where she reported to have lost him from. Obviously, she's not going to say she lost him. No, he's not locked up. Obviously, she's not going to say she lost him at the home she killed him in because she didn't want them to search there. But essentially, they searched there, and I'm sure that they know what happened there. Okay, so this gets really bad, guys. So trigger warning, okay? This really does get bad. On May 31st, 2021, Benjamin Rivera gave a statement. Rivera stated that on or about May 10th, 2021, he was called by his roommate, the defendant. The defendant informed Rivera that the complainant was deceased. Rivera stated that he left work and returned home to Webster County, Harris, Texas. Rivera stated that he observed the complainant unresponsive on the bed. He stated that he also observed bruising on his body. Rivera stated that he and the defendant placed the complainant's corpse in a bathtub, where he remained for 2 days. On May 13th, 2021, Rivera stated he purchased oh my god, I almost broke my fingernail. That hurt. I almost dropped my phone, so I almost broke my nail in the process to save it. Because what's more important? Oh, that hurt. Okay, let's see. Where was I? Oh, now my phone is on a tilt. I can't read it like this. Can't get jiggy with this. Wow, phone. Thank you. Okay, give me a second, guys. Now I gotta find it again. Oh, that really hurt. You know, like when you hit your nail and it bends backwards? That happened. That happened right now. Okay, though. Totally okay. You don't gotta worry. I'll survive. Okay. Why? It's not letting me tilt it anymore. Okay, perfect. All right. This is the really bad part, okay, guys? So, probably when I started getting nervous, start breaking a sweat around here. All right. So, also I wanted to say that I first time I read it, and because of the news, I assumed he said he got home and saw Samuel dead, but he said he's found him unresponsive and they put him in the tub. Do you know what that means, guys? To me, that means that he suffered and died in the tub. I think it was one of those cases where he was beat up to the point where he was going to get sick, or was sick, and then instead of calling 911, she just let him essentially succumb to his wounds. So he said he was unresponsive. He didn't say that he was dead. Crap. Sick son of a... Okay. I can't believe I missed that. That's why you have to read it over and over again. So, on May 31st, 2021, Benjamin Rivera gave a statement. Rivera stated that on about May 10th, 2021, he was called by his roommate, the defendant. Rivera stated he observed Samuel unresponsive on a bed. He stated he also observed bruising on his body. Rivera stated that he and the defendant placed Samuel's corpse in a bathtub. So it says corpse. So maybe he was dead, or maybe I don't know. Where he remained for 2 days. On May 13th, 2021, Rivera stated he purchased duct tape and plastic tote at a local Walmart. A receipt for this purchase was later found during this investigation. Where it was found, I don't know, but I bet it was just found like in a bedstand or something, right? Rivera stated that he and the defendant wrapped the complainant's corpse in a plastic sheet, placed the corpse in a plastic tote, and placed the tote in Rivera's motor vehicle. Rivera stated that he and the defendant then drove the corpse to and placed the corpse and plastic tote inside a storage unit located in Webster County, Harris, Texas. On June 1st, 2021, at approximately... what is that? I'm really bad at military hours. At 5:29 p.m., the Jasper Police Department received a Crime Stopper tip related to a kidnapping case from Houston, Texas. The tip stated that the defendant, who was described as a white female, approximately 5'3" inches and 180 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes, was in room 106 at the Best Western Motel, located in Jasper County, Texas. The tip also indicated that the defendant was possibly in possession of a missing child described as a 6-year-old white male who recently went missing from Houston, Texas. Sergeant Beckman and then a whole bunch of other police officers were dispatched at approximately 5:34 to the Best Western location, and Beckman knocked multiple times on the door without a response, and he was provided a spare key by the manager of the motel. The manager advised them that he, the person registered under room 106, was a male by the name of Dylan W. Sergeant Beckham, and I showed you guys this picture earlier. I'll show it to you guys again in a bit. Sergeant Beckham, along with Officer Gray, Corporal Fowler, and Officer Lewin, made entry into the room. Upon entering the room, Sergeant Beckman stated he detected an odor that, through his experience in law enforcement, he was able to recognize it to be possible decomposing human remains. A female was found in the bathroom while clearing the room, and Sergeant Beckman escorted her outside, where he asked her for her name, and she identified herself as Teresa, later verified to be positively identifying her through her Texas driver's license plate, blah, 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 blah. Sergeant Beckman stated that proceeded to ask multiple times for the whereabouts of the complainant, and defendant advised him that the complainant was inside of the box. Sergeant Beckman observed a black tote with a yellow lid sitting on the floor. Sergeant Beckman stated that the lid had been secured with zip ties and were strapped to the tote. Sergeant Beckman stated he pried the lid open using his flashlight to look inside of the tote and immediately smelled a very strong odor consistent with that of a decomposing body. I'm so sorry, Samuel. Sergeant Beckman observed what appeared to be a child's body wrapped in a black plastic bag laying inside of the tote. So he was in plastic tarps in a plastic bag? They really tried. Why couldn't they just try taking care of him? The child's body appeared to be wrapped inside plastic bags and was secured with duct tape. At approximately 6:37 hours, Houston Police Department was notified of the discovery and was advised that the defendant was detained and transported to the Jasper Police Department. Grimes received a phone call from Commander Knoll at approximately 7:30, who notified us that the affiant, a Detective Grimes, then proceeded to drive to Jasper County, Texas, and arrived at a Best Western motel. At 11:50 p.m. at 9:50 p.m. reviewing surveillance footage from the Best Western, he observed a maroon Dodge Ram truck arriving at the motel at approximately 3:30. The truck was later identified to be a 2015 Dodge Ram truck, license plate blah, 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 which was registered to Dylan Ray W. The surveillance video shows a male enter the motel lobby and proceed to check in. The surveillance video then shows the male return to his truck and drive into the parking lot of the motel and park the truck near the room 106. A tote with a yellow lid is observed sitting in the bed of the truck. The surveillance video then shows the male and a female exit the vehicle and enter room 106 at approximately 5:59 hours. The male is observed exiting room 106. So he was in there for an hour and a half. What was he talking about to her in there? I don't know, but he obviously already knew that there was a dead body in there. Maybe he was trying to get her to turn herself in. Maybe he was trying to tell her to get right with the Lord. But, yeah, this is completely awful. Are you leaving us, sweet pea? Have a good night. He called 911, but it was too late. By the time he called 911, his son had been dead for some time. And in this same document, they talk about what had happened between the mother and how they found out that she wasn't the one who had kidnapped him. So they say that Dalton Olson reported that his girlfriend, Teresa Ray Balboa, hereafter referred to and later identified as the defendant, had care, custody, and control over the complainant since Friday, April 30th, 2021. Mr. Dalton Olson stated that the defendant called him around 11:40 a.m. on Thursday, May 27, 2021, and reported to him that earlier in the day, around 7:30 a.m., the biological mother of Samuel, Sarah Lena Olson, arrived at the McFoy Drive home and took the complainant from the property. The detective spoke to the defendant on May 30th, 2021, who stated that Sarah Olson, along with an unidentified person presenting himself as a police officer, arrived at the McAvoy Drive to take custody of the complainant. The defendant stated that at approximately 7:30, Sarah Olson, along with an unidentified male, took the complainant from his home without further consent. Detective King advised that on May 30th that he spoke to a resident in Pinot Grove Drive, an address near where Mr. Dalton lives. Ms. Kelsey Wichkowski, who deemed reliable and credible and who is an employee of the Holbrook Elementary School, and confirmed that The complainant was at school on April 30th, 2021. In addition, Ms. Kelsey Witkowski stated that April 30th, 2021 was the last day that the complainant was at school and that he had been absent for the remainder of the school year. According to Ms. Witkowski, Mr. Dalton Olson is the one who would walk the complainant to school from his Pine Grove address. Affiant learned that Ms. Sarah Olson denied ever picking up the complainant from 826 McAvoy Drive, contrary to the defendant's statement, and she provided surveillance footage from her residence confirming that she was at the address at the time she reported that he was taken. So she actually had footage from her home showing that she was home at the time that he was taken. So Teresa's statement was ultimately hammered down into the ground immediately after she made it. That's why they were also suspicious of her, right? Hey, Lisa, how are you? My friend Sunbot. Oh, no. I'm so sorry, sweet pea. It happens. Happens too often. It's more, the money's more important to them. It's so sad. So, yeah, essentially, her story was shot down right away. Charlie Ann, they were saying that he had COVID. So, I'm guessing that was their excuse, the quarantine thing, I'm guessing that's exactly what it is. Teresa is a liar and she is a monster, absolutely. And it's not even if she wasn't there, toting around, and no pun intended, toting around a tote with a baby's body in it while they're looking for him, evil. Pure evil. And like her ex said, it was like a trophy to her. Seriously, like a trophy. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Detective Grimes interviewed the defendant on May 30th, 2021 at the Missing Persons Unit, who provided a voluntary statement. The defendant identified the person who had taken the complainant on May 27th was Miss Sarah Olson. She knows the name and the site and was identifying tattoos on her body. She even said she saw her tattoos. However, the defendant stated that she could not explain or did not know how Sarah Olson would have been on the surveillance footage at her own residence at the same time the defendant reported that the complainant was being taken. So they basically confronted her and said, you can't have given her away to the mom when the mom was at home. And her surveillance video showed it. So with COVID or possible COVID, it wouldn't have raised alarms at the school for 2 weeks or the quarantine time. Correct, Don Cobb. And somebody from that area let me know that in that area, you can choose to do school in or out. Like you can choose whether to go in or out of school. Like, I don't know how that works right now with how COVID happened in school, but that, that it was very easy for them to hide it away. And it's not cool. It's not cool at all that she got away with it for so long. It's absolutely devastating. And she almost got away with it. She was on her way out. She was ready to go. Thanks, Lisa, my mod. That is a COVID story is BS. Would Benny Rivera want to catch COVID? Exactly. Why would... Exactly. Very good point, Alicia. Very good point. Absolutely. Very good point. And I don't know. Samuel was staying at his apartment. Exactly. And I mean, it was, by all intents and purposes, it was Teresa's apartment as well. So in all reality, he still would have been staying with him. And I mean, yeah, let's save your fiance, girlfriend. Let's save your fiance's grandpa. His baby can stay here. That story just doesn't vibe. It really doesn't. Let's see. I'm going to put one more video on just so I can chat with you guys real quick, and then we'll be heading off of here. I actually got tired, so that's good, right? Let's see. This is actually a really good video. The next one, I've probably been saying that about all of them. I just think they're all good. I think everybody that's been covering this case so far has done really well, and it's all been very good coverage. It's this one. This is Teresa Balboa's ex, so it would be her baby's father. And the way he describes how Teresa...
somebody I loved, cared for.
The way he describes Teresa at the very end is very important. This is only 2 minutes, so it's not a longy one. I never thought I'd be a YouTuber that was like, okay, I'm going to play a video for you guys. Now I'm just going to sit in the corner. But it goes by so fast. Okay, hold on a second. Dalton's not responsible. It just shows that Dalton is not responsible and is very negligent. You're absolutely right. Charlie Ann said, I did virtual school for my kids, and it's a lot of hoops to jump through. Even if it was virtual, you have to log in and do videos for attendance. I wonder if she did them, but since the school is showing that he wasn't in attendance, that means that nobody was doing them, right? So Dalton would have known, correct? Hey, Dalton, it's not looking good. It's not looking good, bud. Okay. Let me play.
Know that somebody I loved, cared for, did that to a child. It hurts. It scares me.
There was a time when Alex Rizzo knew Teresa Balboa the best. They were together for at least 10 years. She is the mother of his 2 daughters.
Thanks, Lisa.
I've known that girl for a long time, and I know that she's had problems. I know that she's had a difficult life, but I would never have thought something of this magnitude would ever happen.
Alex says they broke up 4 years ago. It was far from amicable. He moved to North Dakota and then Oklahoma for work. 2 months ago, he reached out to her to see if she needed help.
Well, I'm in the position that I'm in. Let me help you do better so that our kids can have their parents. And she went MIA.
In 2019, Teresa lost custody of their children. She didn't even show up to court. They are now being raised by their grandmother, little girls 8 and 6 years old, around Samuel Olson's age.
All I've thought about since I found out about it is my kid in my children and that poor little boy. Like, to be dragged around in a bag in a box as if you're just a freaking trophy. That kills me for that little boy. That kills me for that mother. That kills me for that father. If he had nothing to do with it, then that kills me for him as a dad.
The 30-year-old says on either May 23rd or 24th, 2 weeks after police now believe Sam had died, Teresa contacted him.
She just called me out of nowhere and said, hey, is the offer to still come up there open? I told her, no, not anymore. And then she stopped replying. From what I've heard on the case, she had already done what she had did. And she had that little boy wherever she had him, and was trying to use me to run away from it.
Instead, according to court records, she turned to a male friend in San Jacinto County who helped her get to Jasper before giving her up. The 29-year-old, who also has a son from a previous relationship, remains in jail, accused in Sam's death.
She's convicted of killing that child. I hope she gets the worst things that could possibly happen to her. That's a child, and she's a mother. That little boy was younger than my daughter is. I know that the Teresa I knew at one point in time was a good person. Whatever she's become or whatever she is now, that's not the Teresa that I was in love with at one point. That's a conversation that now I have to have with my kids one day as to why they won't have their mother again. That poor kid's mother will never have him back, and that kills me.
So while I was on my phone for a second, I got a message from somebody sending me a link to an article. It's an article from The Sun. So, like the Daily Mail, you can't believe everything you read, but I'll read it to you guys. So again, this is an article from The Sun. And it says, sorry, I had a cough. It says, the 29-year-old who is currently behind bars in Harris County, Texas, has been charged with the evidence tampering, with further charges expected in the days coming. In court documents, it says what Benjamin claimed, but it's saying neighbor Tiffany Schultz, who lives next door with fiance Andrew and their newborn baby girl, moved in on May 11th. The day after Samuel is believed to have died. Now, I have a video with her in it, but it doesn't say this. Neighbor Tiffany Schultz, who lives next door with fiance Andrew and their newborn baby girl, moved in May 11th, the day after Samuel is believed to have died. While his body was thought to have been slumped in a bathtub just meters away from the door, Tiffany and her family were moving boxes into their home, ready to start a new chapter in their life. Is it, John? She recalled chilling details of bizarre noises heard from the apartment 2 days after Samuel was allegedly killed. My fiance saw them one time, and they never spoke. The second day we were here, it was probably about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. We heard loud scratches. It was really, really loud. It lasted for a good 10 or 15 minutes. I was like, baby, I'm scared. Her fiance, was like, it's okay. He started banging on the wall to try and make it go away. I've heard loud scratching from animals before, and it wasn't that. I don't believe they have had animals. We didn't hear any other noises. It was strange. My fiance also saw a truck outside and is convinced he saw a bin in the back, which Samuel could have been in, and it's creepy. Tiffany said she was aware a little boy was missing when they moved in, as there was a lot of commotion around the home, with crowds searching in the field opposite of them. We saw police and four-wheeler cameras and people out here, and they all started to come in here and right in front of our door, she said. We looked it up and realized it was a young boy missing and that she was arrested. It's all so sad. It makes me really nervous thinking someone that you thought you knew was living next door. You just never know. I think she deserves to go to jail for a long time, and think about what she did. Balboa's roommate Rivera said he raced out of work after she called him and returned home to find Samuel laying in the bed unresponsive. He told her that he noticed bruising. Then on May 13th, that's what I read, you guys, and he took them to the storage unit in Webster County. And then he said he called Crime Stoppers saying that it was a foul-smelling bin, and that was in Benjamin, so the article's wrong in that part. And then it shows a picture of an eviction notice on the door of the apartment. So they have been evicted for I don't know what. Yes, I have that video up on my I have that video up. It says reporters I believe it says, you guys want to hear it? That they heard crying. Let me see. I played it the other day, but I'm already here. I'm going all in today. Let's see. Also, tomorrow or later today, I've been going through my videos that I have on my devices, and I need to make more room. So I'm going to be uploading a lot of the things that I have on there, which I had planned out to do months ago, and some of them a few weeks ago. But I'm going to be taking them out of my phone and uploading them so I could delete them, essentially. But in doing so, I will be uploading a few cases that we all know and obsess over. One of them being JonBenet Ramsey. So tomorrow I'll be doing a premiere early in the morning for JonBenet Ramsey. And it's a bunch of Amanda things that I sleuthed. Okay, so I forgot what I was looking for. I remember again. Okay. So it's the video with the neighbor says Samuel Olson's neighbor tells of child. Samuel Olson's neighbor tells a child crying for help in Teresa Balboa's former apartment. Okay. I forgot to put on studio. Are you guys all still here? Have I lost you guys? You guys all still here? What are we doing? Are we okay? We all okay? Everybody treating everybody all right? Alicia, is that one of your cases too? Because you're a Coloradian, right? Okay, let's see. Is that what you call you guys? Coloradians? All right. Here we go.
Houston, please tell Fox 26 this is some sort of human trafficking scene that is just evolving a block down from the home that appears to be Grandma June's house. So Samuel Olson's dad told me that the weekend before he went missing, he spent the weekend with Grandma June here on McAvoy in Southwest Houston. And Grandma June is the mother of Teresa, who is now charged in connection to a child's body found in Jasper, which police believe is Samuel Olson. They're just waiting on the autopsy results. So we've tried the door here. Nobody's answering. Neighbors confirm this is where June lives, but she's not answering the phone. Talked to neighbors who are just horrified. I also went down to Webster, where Teresa was living. Actually, this is her old apartment I went to Teresa was living there back in November when court records show that she assaulted Dalton, Samuel's dad. So this turbulent relationship between little Sam's dad and his fiance, according to court records. She tried to strangle him while living at that apartment. So I talked to the downstairs neighbor, and when I told her that a child's body had been found, she was just, the first thing she says is, I knew it, because she tells me she had heard all the commotion, the screaming. It was like the child up there was crying for help. Went back when they lived there, in addition to the two adults fighting a lot. So that was the interview I got with the downstairs neighbor today, which we aired on the news, and came out here to talk to neighbors about this scene where the child was reported missing from. Apparently Grandma June's address, which is just a block down from an apparent human trafficking scene, just evolving today, right now in Southwest Houston, according to Houston Police. I'm actually going to go down here. It's a totally different story. Lots happening in Houston today.
So if what she's saying is correct, lots of people fail this baby, and
shut up, Amanda. Anybody else hate hearing their voice? Because I have questions. All right, guys. With that, Amanda Whiteside is saying good night, and I think I'm gonna say good night too. Oh, I had one more update, and I can because this is my channel. I could just say wait, and keep going. How weird is that? So weird. Hi, guys. All my friends are here. So good night, Amanda Whitesides. I had one more update. Let me find it in my messages. I normally have a really good memory, but lately, jeez, I have actually like been pushing myself to the edge, and I can actually get things confused now. The other day, I this is really bad, and you guys can ostracize me all you want. Somebody said something about Cash, and I said, I don't even know who Cash is right now. Like, I was literally in between. This was before the Samuel Olson case, but I was doing like this is at the beginning of Samuel Olson. I was just doing so many things that, like, at the very end of the day, I think Sky said something about Cash, and I'm like, I can't even remember who Cash is right now. Like, I know who Cash is, but the name just wasn't matching a person. Absolutely awful. And I hate saying it, but it's just, that's how tired you get. It's how tired you get. And I'm not saying it makes it any, that, takes away any of the way I feel about this, because that's not it. I don't have to explain that, but you know me, always anxious. Somebody asked me one time, they said, why do you think it's about you? I was like, because duh, it's all about me. So I'm going to pull up this case right here. Oh, I've been calling him Michael Whisnand. Oh, his name was Caleb Michael Whisnand. Okay, perfect. I wasn't that off. So let me pull up a picture of him. You're describing my memory on the daily. Oh, okay. At least I'm not the only one. Thank you, Brittany. Loud scratching, Caitlin. Okay, so what'd you guys think of that? The loud scratching. You know what it reminded me of? Have you guys ever been in a bathtub that had one of those, like, the chains in the tub? And, like, whenever it would scrape around, it made, like, the creepiest scraping noises? Like, what if it was something like that? Like, maybe when they were, like, trying to wrap his body or something, like, they were making noises? I don't know. I just hope they weren't trying to, like, take him apart, I really don't. I really hope that they gave him a little bit of respect. Actually, I guess I could just play a video. That's the video. Oh, the video right here. It was in the same link I had sent earlier. I didn't even see it. Where is it? I lost it. So I don't know if you guys remember this case. This is that case I'm sure you guys saw at some point when um, the Amari Nicholson case happened, that there was a little boy missing, and his parents did a press conference, and they looked absolutely blitzed. Let's see. That's not it. Nope, I guess it doesn't want to give me a video. It's not letting me be great today. It's going to make me read again. So I really hope you guys like the sound of my voice. I'm going to share the screen again so you guys can see the picture. This whole time just for a picture. I thought I was going to find a video. Let's see. Fifth green. Take my big face out of there. I feel sorry for the people that actually watch me on a computer. Or I'm sorry, not a computer, a TV. My face is huge. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay. Yes, baby CJ. Will we get to read the medical report? I hope so. Oh, are you talking about I really do hope we get to find out everything, just because I need to know. John, don't get used to me and don't get unused to me. You'll never know. You'll never know when I'm going to be here. One day I'll schedule a live early on and I'll actually follow through with it. I watch on TV and comment with my phone. I've done that too. I've actually done that a lot. Okay. So this douche cookie, the Alabama man, the Alabama man, the Alabama man. Let's see. Oh, this is another article. Oh, so you guys can't read along with me. Here you go. The Alabama man. I can't say Alabama. I need to go to sleep. The Alabama man accused of killing his. Let me get closer. Drugs must be really cheap these days. Okay. Yes, drugs are all over these cases. That's one thing that we can't say that we don't see. Okay. So this one was, holy Colito, this one was bad. He was so tiny. Okay. So the Alabama man accused of killing his 5-week-old son last month blurted out an apology to the child's mother after leading investigators to a shallow grave where Caleb C.J. Whisnand Jr.'s remains were buried. Caleb Michael Whisnand Sr., 32, drove detectives to the ball. Caleb Michael Whisnand drove detectives to the body following a bizarre May 12th press conference during which he and Angela, the child's 28-year-old mother, she was 28, pleaded for the public's help in finding CJ. When they arrived on the scene, Montgomery County Sheriff's investigator John Shepard testified at a preliminary hearing that Whisnand ran over and hugged Gardner, who was also there with the police, and said, "I'm sorry." Ugh. He said it was an accident and he had hit him in his head. Shepard said in his testimony, according to OWLS.com, who was attending the hearing, that Whisnand then asked Shepard to shoot him, at which point the officer handcuffed Whisnand for his own safety. Oh, wow. I do not think this was an accident. A forensic pathologist for the state of Alabama told the court, likening CJ's injuries to those seen in people who have been in severe automobile accident. Oh, no. Or who have leapt from a 5th-floor window. Oh, he beat this baby. In response to an interview request by the Daily Beast, Mickey McDermott, Whisnand's defense attorney, said, "A gag order is in place. We cannot comment. Whisnand faces charges of reckless manslaughter and a capital murder charge. The murder charge followed an autopsy that showed CJ died from blunt force trauma to the head. Gardner has not been charged with any crime." The investigation into the gruesome case began around 10:45 p.m. on Monday, May 10th. So, Monday, May 10th was the same day that Benjamin Rivera came home and found Samuel dead. And it's the day after Tristan Bailey was killed. It's just, I'm not into astrology like that, but there had to be something. I'm not blaming it on the stars, but I default you stars, as Shakespeare would say. The investigation into the gruesome case began around 10:45 p.m. on Monday, May 10th, when Whisnand called 911 from a Circle K convenience store to report that CJ had been abducted. But Whisnand had already allegedly killed a child by then, court records state. The Alabama Law Enforcement Agency quickly sent out a missing child alert to try and locate CJ on May 12th. Whisnand and Gardner held a press conference. They did not once refer to CJ by name and gave a muddled timeline for what transpired. He kept saying he didn't know, remember? He kept saying he didn't know what happened. That like he just, it almost sounded like he said like he suddenly like remembered and he was with cops. Do you guys remember that? Let me ask you, like, if you guys are going to speak out loud. You guys remember? I don't remember a lot, but I did remember I was breaking up, with the cops, Whisnand said. I don't remember much. If anybody's got anything, any places that I could have gone, you know who you are. Exactly. He didn't know. So I could have just read a few more lines and I would have read it verbatim. Gardner said she had been at home on Monday with her other child, who was 2, when Whisnand took CJ to Circle K. They had been in an argument as well, and she was going to leave him. This isn't in the article. This is something that I had found out already. John Leahy, you watch your mouth, young man. He went to pay gas at the gas station and realized he was gone. He let the police know and me know that he was missing. Please find him, she said. At some point after the presser ended, Whisnand led cops to CJ's body. Shepard testified during the June 4th court hearing. Investigators amassed a mountain of evidence that cast doubt on Whisnand's version of events, said Shepard. They reviewed security video from the night in question at Circle K, but didn't see anyone kidnap CJ. Well, duh. The footage showed Whisnand arriving at the store about 20 minutes before he called 911. He also offered conflicting accounts of where his whereabouts were on the previous few days, telling police variously that he had brought CJ along with him to work on a friend's car over the weekend, and that he had left CJ with a friend, and that a different friend's wife had watched CJ while he worked on that person's vehicle. Right. So he was gone all weekend with the baby. So she didn't call to report this baby missing. I trust my husband implicitly. I don't think I would leave him alone with my baby. Like my newborn by himself for the weekend. Like I would have to be there. I can't live without them. And this is me inserting myself. I'm sorry. You guys don't care. He also offered conflicting reports about the whereabouts of his previous few days, telling police variously that he had brought CJ along with him to work on a friend's car. However, cops subpoenaed Whisnand's cell phone records and were able to piece together his actual movements in the days before CJ appeared. Detectives noticed Whisnand's phone and traveled out of the county when he had neglected to mention in his interviews. Whisnand tried to explain it away, saying he had gone on a drug run. Well, at least he admitted it, right? Other surveillance videos showed Whisnand withdrawing money from an ATM, then later at a gas station, throwing away the clothes he was wearing earlier in the day. That footage also showed Whisnand discarding a Mickey Mouse pacifier in a child's sock, according to Shepard, who said in courts, "I felt something was amiss." Oh, hell no. When Whisnand was arrested for allegedly killing CJ, he was already indicted in an unrelated case on charges of reckless endangerment, possession of drug paraphernalia, and meth and heroin possession. Whisnand's trial is in the matter of scheduled appearing of October 21st. Oh, hell no. She wasn't oblivious. She's blissfully oblivious. Or what is it? Blissfully unaware. Oh, man. Maybe I should read these articles before I come on, then read them completely. I had read most of it. I didn't read the end of it, and I don't mean to laugh. That's that awkward laugh that, how uncomfortable. How uncomfortable. And we saw the love bombing. We saw the way he was all over her. He was trying to make her feel better. Like, oh, baby, don't worry. We'll find our baby. And then at the very end, he said, he was sorry. Look how little he was. He was a tiny, 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 tiny little baby. What could this baby do to you other than annoy you? I said this the other day, and I will say it again, and I repeat myself a lot, all the time. But if you are a parent and you are frustrated, put your child in a safe place and walk away. It may seem bad in the moment. You will feel awful. But it will be better than losing your temper. I personally don't really have to do this. I can withstand a lot. Lisa Donahoe could tell you my kids are loud. But if I felt I couldn't I couldn't take it, I would walk away. For sure, I would take my own advice and walk away. And I hope somebody that's listening is, is going through something and takes that advice. Your child is not going to cry blood. They will be fine. Let them cry it out a little bit and walk away and give yourself a breather, because your mental health is just as important as, as them getting whatever they need, if not more. Because there are studies that show, like with the whole, in the Chris Watts case, they talk about baby wise, and in baby wise, you let your baby cry it out. There are studies that show that crying it out will not affect a child. It's not necessarily something I can do. I can let my baby cry it out for about a minute and a half, and then I'm like, okay, come here, I'll make it better. But crying it out will not affect your child negatively. It is just a course of how they eventually learn how to self-soothe, and it will not hurt them unless you're like, neglecting them on top of everything. But with that being said, you can leave your child for a moment to catch a breather, and that's what they really should do. And some of these people shouldn't even have been put into that position where they had to take a breather, because these weren't even their kids. But they took that responsibility being an adult. They were walking around with 2 big feet, 2 big hands, a big old head, and a drug problem, and acting like they were adults, running around killing people and then trying to hide it. Terrell Rhodes, possibly Darian Brown. Now we got Teresa Balboa. We got, even if he didn't kill him, we definitely had Benjamin, who should have done something, who definitely knew. She almost got away with it. What would she have done with this baby in Louisiana? I don't know. It was stupid. So dumb. I'm sorry. If they do cry blood, take them to the ER and call a brace. Don't do that. You're not supposed to make me laugh. Yeah, I can't I have before, but it was like when she was like, this my oldest, like when she would be throwing a fit, like, okay, you're gonna cry this one out for that. Like, you're not gonna know. But nothing awful. Like, I'm obsessed with my children. A crying child is better than, yes, for Pete's sake. What are they really just don't see into the future. And if they did, it's because they were premeditating it. And even if they weren't premeditating it, they had a thought about it. Kind of like Aiden Fucci in the Tristan Bailey case, the 14-year-old that killed the 13-year-old. He killed her. He stabbed her 114 times. He had told people he had wanted to kill somebody. Sometimes it's just within somebody. It's sociopathy. Criminals. How can I think of it? Brain fart. Could be sociopathy. What's crazy about these babies who are 4 and 6 aren't hard to deal with? Yes, allegedly with Brittany. Put bubble guppies on and give them some juice, and they're good. And if you really don't want to act like you have a kid, give them an iPad. I have to take my kid's iPad away so she can pay attention to me. Like, no, you don't get it today. In fact, you're only going to get it on the weekends because you don't pay attention to me. All you got to do is give them what they want, and they essentially leave you alone. I have to find my kid because, she's got a really nice room and she likes to play and stuff. And I have to come find her, like, hey, what are you doing? Can we play? But what I'm saying is what you're saying, Brittany. It is so easy to care for a 4 and 6-year-old. But you know what it is that when we were caring for 4 and 6-year-olds, they were our children. So we had that instinct to love them. These are not their children. So it becomes very easy for them to abuse them because it's not connected to them. And they have like this dissonance. And at some point they hurt them and then they cover it up because they're cowards. I'm going to say this right now, and this is allegedly, I don't think Samuel was dead when Benjamin arrived home. I think he was dying, and I think they let him die. And I think, I bet we're going to find out that Teresa let him die. Like, as in, obviously she beat him, but she probably could have been saved had she taken him to the hospital. But she didn't because she was going to save herself. This is all about her. Yeah, babies don't need much. And you know what? I'm not saying that that's the answer. Like castration or whatever. No, castration. Fixing people. But I do think that it's a good idea. But you don't, it's all this, you don't know who gets convicted wrongly. Like, people can be convicted for doing SA, get all their junk removed, and then they didn't do SA. And then they sue the county for billions of dollars, something like that. So I don't think that would ever happen, but It's a good idea. At least like verified, like, oh no, we know for sure it was you, you know. And I'm going through the John Benet Ramsey case, and today my husband walked up to me and I kind of yelled, like almost as like ah, because I was looking at autopsy photos, and I look at autopsy photos often. And I'm not saying that like because I like to look at them. I compare and contrast pictures and stuff. And I don't think it's because it's John Benet Ramsey. I think that case is really just brutal. I really think that something awful happened, and it makes me wonder who did it, why, when, where, why they covered it up, who covered it up, and all these things, and all because it's really sad what they did to her. Whoever did it clearly wanted to overpower her when they already had the ability to overpower her. So it's quizzical. Like I'm left wondering. I have questions. that's just why that's my catchphrase. And honestly, I didn't know that was really going to be my catchphrase until I said it a few times, and then I made my little thing. But if you go back to the first live I ever did, I jumped on a Jace for Justice live. She dropped a link and I just jumped on. And I jumped on because I was like livid about whatever. So when I jumped on or whatever, I had no idea. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I thought, literally just like a one-time thing. And yeah, I forgot what I was saying. That's totally what happens. Yeah, that's totally what happens when you do that. But it was something about true crime. Okay, I'm going to bed now. That was embarrassing. I completely forgot. Hey, Caroline D, what's up? Oh man, I was saying all night that I needed to give it a rest, but I was on a live earlier and it ended abruptly because of some technical difficulties, and that's what it was. John, thank you. Thank you. And I was left with words in my mouth, and I had to get them out. I should be paying you guys to listen. And Cash was motionless when picked up. I really believe he invested. I don't know about Cash. Okay, so John reminded me it was about the I have questions. So if you go to my first live, I was giving somebody two, and at the end I was like, you know about Chris? I have questions. And I don't know if that's just something I always said, but yeah, it stuck. And it's honestly what I think all the time. I think about it all the time. I have questions. Like at the end of an article, like I have questions, and I can't wait until, I'm not saying I'm going to solve a case or anything, but I can't wait until maybe one day I do solve a case, and then I can end it with, and I have no more questions. Hopeful, right? Why not? If it saves the day, as John would say, yeah. It's a earworm, as somebody told me, and I think it is too. I really dig it. Oh, yes, Pretty Jay. I know a lot of people that have told me that. I am so nosy. That's probably the reason why I'm such a good sleuth. Like people are like, I don't know where you find this. I'm like, just Google. I just Google a whole bunch of times. Like a whole bunch of times. One tip that I can give a sleuther that wants to be a sleuther, and I hope you guys don't use this for nefarious reasons or whatever. But if you ever need to reverse search a phone number, a lot of the times it could be like a text me app phone number, but just need to check it or something. Put it in, get the phone number, add it into your contacts in your phone. So give it a name like Spy 101. And then go into your apps that require phone numbers, as in Venmo, Cash App, Snapchat. Enter in the phone number, or I'm sorry, go into the app, go into your contacts, and then choose the phone number, and it will tell you if they have an account. That will be epic. I need more words. Yes. Let's see. Sounds like yes. I need details. And I am very proud that I do have like a plethora of screenshots, but most of what I know in a case is in my head. And it's because I really do like live, breathe, and eat all this stuff up. Like podcasts up until recently, until I started going on YouTube and stopped listening to podcasts, I was completely caught up. I've listened to every episode of My Favorite Murder. I've watched, I'm caught up on 2020, the show, the entire series. I people can ask me a case and I will know it. I just absorbed crazy stuff. But yeah, did you guys understand that thing with the getting the phone number or finding out the name? It's not hacking. It's just essentially using the tools that they're giving us. So if you save their number to your phone and then you go into the app and you pull up your contacts, and it says, normally you would say, let's pull up your Aunt Jan. I'm going to go to my contacts, pull up my Aunt Jan. Oh, my Aunt Jan's name is Little Ecstasy. Oh, that's weird. But, whatever. Aunt Jan's there. That's how you'll do it with this person. I have listened to Small Town Murder. Okay. Oh, no. So cute. And there's like, that movie, the Netflix movie, the Don't F with Cats. To me, it's like, don't F with babies, don't F with cats, don't F with animals. Don't. Just don't. And Jan. Where's the channel that unpaneled my mouth would drop because you would know more than me. I honestly have been following cases for so long. It's something that I would just accumulate, and there's certain ones that I just store away. Like Amber Truth Seeker told me, she's like, you need to make videos of the little things that and put them out. And I was like, I didn't even know that people didn't know this stuff. When I realized that I was going to call in, when I called in, I didn't realize that I was going to know more than some of the people that were there. And they had been following the case like publicly, and I had done it all in private. And sometimes Crazy will ask me for proof, like, how did you find this? I'm like, I don't know. I found it out a long time ago. It's in my catalog. It's in my 100% authentic, true catalog in my head. And that's just how it is. I don't know where I found this evidence, but it's there. It's just there. But yeah. Thank you, Brittany. And I actually made my channel, I want to say 12. I uploaded my first video 12 days after I went on panel on Jays for Justice. And that's just because I was like, this is what they're doing, exactly what I think in my head. I just don't know how to put it out. So I had my 10-year-old niece come over and visit me, and she taught me how to make TikToks, and that's where it all started. And I don't know if you guys seen my first videos. They're so fast because I didn't know how to slow them down. And if you've seen my first videos, like where it's like a slideshow, I didn't even know how to make slideshows. I would take a whole bunch of pictures, screen record my phone, and swipe with my finger. So I've gotten a little bit better. Okay. It's perfect because your channel gives us all of the details, and usually it's the first I find the info. And I like doing that. I really do. I know murder is my forte, and that's just what it is. And my husband says, well, you need to pursue something in it if you really do like it. And I was like, no, but then that would take all the fun out of it for me. I think so. Like, and I hate saying it's fun, but there's things that you do that are fun that aren't supposed to be fun. There's some people that like to go out and play golf and get drunk, and that's fun for them. I don't think that's fun, but that's fun for them. I like to explore cases and find out things that I didn't know were there before, and it came naturally. I followed the Casey Anthony case heavily, and obviously that wasn't my first case, but I had every single case file. I had laptops full of case files. I wish I still had them now because I have to retrieve them, but that's just how it goes. It's nothing that I haven't done before, and I've always been the kind of person that if I like somebody, if somebody interests me, I will reach out to them, whether it be a civilian or a celebrity. And I have reached out to multiple families for cases that I followed that I liked, or friends, and talked to them. So I asked Crazy to do a case with me, and we will be working on it soon. Right now, we're both kind of caught up in the new cases that just kind of landed in our laps and that we feel passionate about, but we will be working on it in the background. And there's a book that I want her to read about it. So we're going to be doing that. And I won't say the name just so, it keeps a little bit of suspense, but we're going to be doing like a small little series on it, and like a very small series, maybe like one or two, I want to say episodes, but like 1 or 2 lives just so you know that we get the story through, because it's a really big case. There was like 45 witnesses, and I wanted to be brought up because it involves kidnapping, murder, tons of witnesses, lots of people letting people down, and then accomplices to murder that had nothing to gain. Absolutely nothing to gain in the murder, not even a dime. Some of them didn't even earn a dime or respect or nothing. They got nothing out of it, just the accolade that they did it. And if anything, that wasn't much because they had to hide it. So, you know, that case to me it's really interesting how this stuff works, and it answers a lot of questions. Like when we do Watts and they're like, well, why would this person want to help out? Why, you know, what would they have? Sometimes people will do it for no reason, as in we've seen here. Sometimes people will do things for absolutely no reason. I will tell you the book later on, John. Hold your horses. I was not young for a Casey Anthony case. But yeah. So, hey, Ambi. So I am going to be signing off because I feel my throat getting dry and I have to go potty and all this stuff. But thank you so much, everybody. That was way too much info. I'm really sorry. I'm going to cut off like the end of this live. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Don Cobb, for that info. That was an amazing interview by Tim Miller. There's an unsolved case in your hometown. It would be amazing if we could all solve it. Another child case from a few years back. Oh, Don, interesting. Maybe you should put the information together and see how you would put it in order. I feel like I will not pick up a case unless I'm not saying like it jumps at me, but unless it jumps at me, because that's where passion comes from, and I can't and I don't want to force anything. So I feel like I want to be the kind of person that will say, yeah, give me your case and I'll look into it, but I don't want to be that inauthentic. I'm the kind of person that if I pick up a book that somebody tells me is an award-winning book and I read the first 4 pages and I can't catch on, I won't read it. And that's kind of how I feel about cases. There's just some cases that I can't catch on to, that I don't wrap myself around them. And it has nothing to do with the victim or anything. It's just I didn't grasp the details the way my brain likes to grasp them, and it just didn't work out for me. And, you know, I don't know. But good night, loves. Good night, allegedly, with Brittany. I caught more of this live than your last 40 live. Well, because of you, John, I've been trying to make it longer, really. You're like, longer live. So I will be trying. Yes, okay. So one thing I can say is I'm talking with Andy from Ando GTV. We're talking about doing a video, a collab. And I suggested Natalie Holloway. We have to see what he says. He may not be for it, but I thought the interview with, whatever. I won't say that anymore. But yeah, so thank you all for being here. I'm going to name this live. Do not click on this unless you want to lose 2 hours of your life that you will never get back. But I appreciate you all for being here. And I love chatting with you guys, my friends. You have a good night. I have effective change. Yes, you have effective change, John. And I was actually really excited to talk tonight. And I like that I can just push it further and further because it's my live and I live here. So, in case you guys are wondering more, I too have questions, and feel free to send me stuff. My email and my YouTube name and my TikTok name and my Facebook name are all the same, Amanda's Vida. And, you can contact me. So let me know, or leave me a comment if that's how you want to communicate. If you guys have any links, link me. I love links. So thank you so much, guys. I'm giving you guys my peace signs over here. You guys can't even see them, so I'm a loser. Bye.